basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna watch. So this is about 5 in the morning on Sunday morning. And I'm gonna try to get it so that it's as loud as possible for. Nope, can't do that. It's gotta be speakers. All right. All right, so we'll get to the good part. So we got𝟚�𝕃𝔾𝔹𝕋⚚, who looks like a fucking skinhead, and then we got Mr. Blackface Legend. Yeah, we're back. We're back, brother. Back. We're back. Yeah, bro. Yeah, money.
And I don't know. I try to take a little bit from that, but not all that, because this is still our lived experience, and this is something that we do have to deal with day in and day out. So it's hard to dissociate completely from reality.
Yeah. Yeah. LISABELLA knows nothing about this, so this is her first fucking lived experience that's a little bit controversial, so she decided to blame everybody. You know, everybody grieves different. No hate, but fuck you. It's not my fault.
That everything you do in the present is going to affect your future present.
Oh yeah, that's why when people are like, hey, if you could go back and change something, I'm like, I wouldn't change a damn thing, because I don't know what small action I could do that had a ripple effect that would actually affect somebody else's life. Like, some people might not even be born right now or doing what they're doing right now in good ways, because
that's what we call the,
you know, if I didn't do what I did in the past, which I have no, I mean,
that's what we call the Tsushima effect.
Like, you go back and you change one thing, and that can change the trajectory of like millions of people's lives just by your one action. So it's crazy to think about.
Right now is the past of tomorrow, so everything you do right now affects the future, just the same as what you're saying. So like, you want to change the future, take a different path. You have two choices: take the hit, don't take the hit. That's your choice right at this moment.
And if you take the hit, how are you going to handle it? If you don't take the hit, how are you going to handle it?
Which way you handle it? Like positive.
And that's why everyone has anxiety.
You move forward.
I swear it gets better.
Attitude equals 100%. So you always want to be at 100% of your best self. So having a positive attitude is the best way to do that, in my opinion. But
I think not authentic is a better word, because positive is great, but sometimes you need to bring in that negative part, and that's just the way it is, because people need to hear the bad as much as they need to hear the good. You just have to be yourself, be authentic.
You can't have good without evil. There cannot be darkness without light.
But that's what this game is about, is the balance.
Whoa, that was so deep.
Walk the narrow path.
The path less traveled is probably the best one to take.
It should also be the easiest, though.
Not all the time. There's always going to be some roadblock, and how you overcome that roadblock.
Malcolm is right. Malcolm is right. The easiest. We're always the ones that create the blockers. Always the ones. The what ifs. Like, how many of you people out there literally think about what other people are thinking about you? Bells, I know you're you're guilty of this on a lot of times. But you think what other people are thinking of you, and that's actually not the case. Like, people constantly think, well, what if this person thinks of this? Or, you know, I'm going to go out with my vanity. Vanity is a prime example of why it's one of the deadly 7 sins. Because people don't give a shit about you. Not they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit about your shoes. They don't give a shit about your purse. They don't.
The deadly 7 sins. Let's just quickly look into that quick. Can you tell me about the deadly 7 sins?
The deadly 7 sins, also known as the 7 deadly sins, are a classification of vices in Christian teachings that are considered to be particularly dangerous because they can lead to other sins and moral failings. These sins were first categorized by early Christian theologians, most notably by Pope Gregory I in the 6th century, and later elaborated upon by Thomas Aquinas. The 7 deadly sins. 1. Pride. Excessive belief in one's own abilities or superiority, often considered the root of all other sins. It's an inflated sense of self that disregards others' worth. Opposing virtue. Humility. Envy, a feeling of discontent or covetousness with regard to someone else's advantages, success, possessions, or qualities. Envy often leads to resentment. Opposing virtue, kindness. 3. Wrath, intense anger that leads to violent or vengeful actions. It's more than just feeling angry. Wrath involves a desire to punish or harm someone. Opposing virtue, patience. Sloth, laziness, or a failure to act and utilize one's talents. Sloth can manifest as physical laziness or as a failure to care for or develop oneself spiritually and intellectually. Opposing virtue, diligence. 5. Greed, an excessive pursuit of material possessions and wealth. Greed involves placing too much importance on money and physical possessions over spiritual or ethical values. Opposing virtue, charity. 6. Gluttony, overindulgence in food, drink, or other pleasures. Gluttony is often associated with wastefulness and a lack of self-control. Opposing virtue, temperance. 7. Lust, an intense and uncontrolled desire, usually for sexual pleasure, but it can also refer to a strong craving for other physical or material things.
No,
Opposing virtue, chastity.
Don't worry,
Impacting
we're
culture
good.
and religion, religious teachings. In Christian theology, the 7 deadly sins are considered morally destructive. While not explicitly listed in the Bible, they have been used as a framework for understanding human behavior and sinfulness. Literature and arts.
Anyways, that's 7 deadly sins. And no, this is not a religious conversation. Well, a little bit. We're going over a Christian fascist fucking live. I got in trouble for calling them Nazis when they're Nazis, so.
Shit about what you look like. They don't go to bed at night saying, my God, I just love the way she did her fucking hair today. Like, no, that doesn't happen. It just doesn't.
But doesn't it feel good when someone tells you that? Like, hey, I like your glasses, or you know, like that makes me feel good. And I've noticed that people don't really do that anymore. Like, people don't, you know, say anything like that.
Well, vanity. Well, okay, we're living in the world's 7 deadliest sins. We are living in the world right now, vanity being one of them. You have gluttony, which is, we have a lot.
Okay, so we have vanity, which is not on this list. Gluttony, which is number 6. Don't ask me what gluttony means, but
Overweight people. You have greed. We're living in the 7 deadly sins right now.
Famine.
no, famine is not on there. We have wrath, which this Christian fascist has. Little sneak. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta plug my phone in. I fucking hate iPhone for that. Like, what the fuck was that? Just lost like fucking 7 viewers because. Fuck, man. I hate that shit. Anyways. Piss me the fuck off. So we have wrath, which I will say in the future, he does say that he hates all gay people. So trigger warning. I would consider that wrath, and pride. And probably I would consider it envy also. Because dude is just, my gaydar is going off with this guy. I'm sorry.
Just because of religious context, it's the 7 deadly sins are what human beings are not. We are not supposed to be like that. We are not supposed to be experiencing this conflict because we don't get it. You gain.
Yeah,
Why are we supposed to be like that?
It's hard because being dictated by the 10 Commandments creates the path towards the 7 deadly sins.
Well, no, I mean, okay, change around commandments to commitments. Change that around.
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, change that
That's a good way
around.
of thinking it, yeah.
Thou shalt not steal. Okay, why would you not steal? Because if someone stole from you, it'd make you feel like shit.
You'd
How about thy
be,
neighbor's wife? Like, why
you'd
should
be
you?
sinning with greed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 10 rules to life that if you were to live by those 10 rules, you'd actually have. It's the simplest form of life. It's the easiest way to live.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Lying just creates more lies, right? I mean, if you tell the truth, it is what it is.
Yep.
I missed a bit of that. Sorry, I was feeding my cats.
Am I gay? No, not gay. I'm not gay. People have questioned it in the past. People very close to me. It was traumatizing, I swear. Not like there's anything wrong with being gay. But I am pretty sure I'm not gay. I've questioned it, you know? Like, maybe I'm a little gay. A little bit. A little gay. It's okay to be a little gay, you know? But, like, nah, I'm pretty straight. Keyword there, pretty. Pretty straight. I'm pretty and I'm straight, so...
Yeah, Mark, I apologize for yesterday. Fucking wasn't in a good mindset, and that guy just set me off.
Oh, don't worry about it, dude. I mean, at the end of the day, either I don't care one way or another about people that like people are gonna disagree, brother. You know what I mean? Like,
what the fuck is happening right now? Sorry, one sec. We got a little technical difficulty. What the fuck, man? Refresh. There we go. All right, we got it. We got it. My TikTok chat wasn't showing up on the stream. God damn it. God damn. We need some like country music to play. YouTube is not responding. What the fuck, YouTube? Come on. Just give me 1 second here, guys. I got, pretty sure that's an area that you were clearly still exploring. Yeah, not really. You can think that all you want. There's nothing wrong with being gay, so... Hashtag end the stigma. You guys are fucking... nothing wrong with being a little gay. So it says... I feel like it's because I haven't been live very much. We're lagging. Okay. Alright. I got this. 1 sec. Plug this little son of a bitch in. Says I have 7 views. Oh, okay. Okay, we're doing pretty good on YouTube. First stream back. Oh, 4 viewers, so. God damn it. Everybody say fuck TikTok. Say fuck TikTok and go to YouTube. We have been pushing on TikTok all week. Go to my YouTube. Get the fuck out of here. Go to my YouTube. All of you. I will literally shut my TikTok down right now if I don't have 10 viewers in the next 5 minutes. I'm not fucking shitting you. I do not care about TikTok.
well, I mean, no, I agree. I understand. I get it. I mean, there's some things that, I mean, Moist and I, we get along. We don't see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, but we do see eye to eye on a lot of stuff too. I mean, he just, to me, and I've talked to him about this before, is the constant white man. The constant, like
that's a good idea.
Of the white man. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
I think he even spells it YT. So it's like every time I see that, I'm just like, first off, white.
That's because TikTok fucking censors us when we say white. Which, by the way, white is a fucking social construct. But anyway, she's going to get into critical race theory pretty soon here, I think.
Not a bad word. And if you think it's a bad word, that just shows how brainwashed you've been to hate white people. But then also when you're saying YT, I'm reading it as YouTube. So every time people are like, oh, YouTube people, all the YouTube privilege. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know.
That's what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna you're probably not gonna like me, Bells, but the 7 deadly sins that we were just talking about, the biggest driving force of that is the LGBTQ. That's the biggest driving force, and that
the sin of pride.
It's just pride. Just pride. Pride is the worst. And you don't have to be part of the
I'm not going to hate you on that.
To have pride.
It's boastful and stuff, right? Like it's egotistical. It's ego.
Okay, this is just the beginning, folks. Remember earlier, LISABELLA was saying that she wasn't gay bashing and she wasn't hanging out with Nazis. She was hanging out with Nazis. Is this TikTok live? Yes, it was a TikTok live on Sunday. So, and I thank you everybody for coming to my YouTube. Fuck TikTok. Everybody on my TikTok say fuck TikTok and go to my YouTube, because YouTube is more important right now than this app. Yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit this like button right there. You see that like button? Hit that like button. And yeah.
Driven. There's narcissism in it. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your accomplishments and proud of the good things that you're doing, but like, I don't know, I guess what's good and what's bad is subjective too, right? Depending on who you are, because a lot of these people think they're doing something good when really they're regressing society.
Well,
I would like to know how they're regressing society, LISABELLA, because last I checked, gay marriage was legalized in what, 2004, 2005? How are they regressing society?
Every single human being in the world has the capability to do all of the 7 deadly sins. Sometimes
it's the most
people with weak...
7 deadly sins being pride, envy, wrath, sloth, greed, gluttony, lust, and chastity. And we all know you guys are fucking lusting fucking hard, you fucking perverts.
People with weak will follow those sins more often.
Sounds like a fucking incel to me.
Right? Because it's easier to sin than it is to... what's the word I'm looking for?
And why is it an accomplishment to be gay? Like really, like what did I do to achieve, like did I have sexual? No, that's just the way that it is, you know, and I can't do anything about it. I don't want to do anything about it. I have no issue with it, but like, I don't know why people think that it's like some kind of achievement to be gay. It's like, yeah, we got our rights and stuff. We're good.
Give me 1 second. Shut the fuck up! Sorry.
We can have our homes, we can have our jobs, we can have our families, we can get married, we can adopt kids, we can have our own children and raise them.
Excuse me.
You know, we...
Not without fucking losers like you on the internet trying to question every fucking breath you take. You're literally hanging out with a bunch of people that hate gay people, and you're like, what's the accomplishment of being gay? It's not an accomplishment. It's something that you're born with, right? Or you might discover it later on. You know, there's a couple senators, couple Republican senators that may or may not, you know, have discovered it after they became a fucking GOP operative. But it's not an accomplishment. It's something that people have had to hide for generations. You're a fucking bisexual woman. You're good. You don't get the same fucking shade. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, who the fuck even is this person? Why does she think and tries to stamp credibility by stating she's bisexual? Nope. Internalized phobia if I've ever seen it. Yeah, exactly. Like, Lisa, you're not a fucking even close to an ally. You're stealing your talking points from fucking like who's this talking point stolen from? I want to say Ben fucking Shapiro. Ben Shapiro. Like, welcome to the fucking Ben Shapiro show, folks. Shit's fucking ridiculous.
Vote. What the fuck more do we need? You know, we don't need naked people dancing in the street. We don't need children to be involved in this stuff. All the countries that don't have their rights are looking to people like us.
Fix it.
All right. Sick. All right. So I went back a little bit because like I went to the bathroom and shit. So and I was listening to it. I'm like, oh my god, so much to say. So just want to remind everybody, she's not gay bashing. Not at all, right? that was sarcasm, but okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
This shit is fucking... It hurts my brain. It hurts my brain.
Achievement to be gay. It's like, yeah, I can't do anything about it. I don't want to do anything about it. I have no issue with it. But like, I don't know why people think that it's like some kind of achievement to be gay.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's an achievement to survive the fear. Wait, now I got a feedback here. Yeah. Hang on.
Do you want to
Okay.
like...
So there, I think it's okay now. So it's the problem is she's implying that this is something you can change. This is something you step into. Like it's something what we achieve in these process is coming out despite people that are on this live consistently trying to persecute us, consistently trying to vilify us and make us feel like less than based on who we are. We don't choose our sexual orientation, just like people who are heterosexual don't choose their sexual orientation. So the pride, I think she's skewing the definition. She's limiting the definition of what pride entails to her. And she's viewing it as boastful and narcissism and ego-driven. Those are the quotes she's made. When it's also a consciousness of one's own dignity and identity. And we are allowed to be proud of who we are despite society consistently fucking pushing us out of it.
All right, let's move. We're like, what, 5 seconds in? This is going to be good. Oh my God. This is like right when it starts to get wild. So buckle up, folks.
Like, yeah, we got our rights and stuff. We're good. We can have our homes. We can have our jobs. We can have our families. We can get married. We can adopt kids. We can have our own children and raise them. You know, we can vote. What the fuck more do we need?
What, like what?
Yeah, she wasn't the one on the steps of Parliament and fighting for our rights to actually be accepted in society. She sat down and the rights were handed to her. She's getting her rights on the backs of everyone else who fought in a society that was consistently trying to push back against us. So it's easy for her to sit there in all her friggin' privilege to indicate that our rights are solidified, despite the fact they're on the internet debating our existence and vilifying us, calling us narcissists, calling us ego-driven because we're embracing who we are despite how people feel about us.
1 second. Sorry, I just wanna take a risk here. Let's fucking full send it. 'Cause this is I don't know how to do it. Fuck. Oh, okay, 1 sec. I wanna like I wanna get people in here. Just gonna hit that fucking, I don't know where the button is. Gifts. Hit the flare. Can't hit the flare. I want 400 people in here. Let's go. They'd fucking cry if we had 400 people in here right now. That'd be the ultimate payback. Enhance effects. Okay, I'm gonna play it while I figure this out.
We don't need naked people dancing in the street. We didn't need children to be involved in this stuff. All the countries that don't have their rights are looking to people like us, our countries, and saying, we don't want that here. We don't want all of that, like the nakedness and the kids and all the medicalization and all that shit. We don't want that here. They're not seeing just the love part. They're not seeing the like the happy, sane gay people who have assimilated into society, who are just living their lives like the rest of people are. You know, they're seeing the big stuff that's on the streets, and they're seeing
They're not living their life like the rest of the not gay people are.
So she started that out discussing children. Children shouldn't be seeing. So she's claiming being part of the community and subsequently attending Pride events is somehow loaded with indecent exposure, which is a crime, it's worth noting. So if that was indeed happening, it would be stopped immediately. But this is all propaganda she's pushing once again to vilify members of the community through her lenses of what she considers sane. And it's worth noting, I highly doubt this woman is a psychiatrist or a psychologist. And the reason I know it is because she wouldn't be getting on the internet and diagnosing various people with narcissism and all of these insanity, essentially, because it would be actually violating the Goldwater rule, which means you can't diagnose anybody who's not in front of you and who hasn't been in your chair as a therapist.
So you're so good at this. So we're not even 1/3 of the way through here. Would you say that she's gay bashing or?
Oh, absolutely. I was attacked heavily in that live. She may have changed her tune as soon as I came into the comments, but they're about to see how these men treated me. And I mean, it was, she was wanting a private conversation with me, but I mean, she proceeded to continue, like calling members, certain members within the community as insane or radicalized based on her limited perspective of the whole community. She's viewing the community as a monolith and certain parts of the community as a monolith. She's stepping on our shoulders to uplift herself and oppressing us in the process.
Sorry, one sec.
And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. The oldest trick in the phobia playbook is to consistently drive your arguments home using off the backs of children by saying we're a danger to children. It's the most perpetuated argument used to vilify the gay community.
Facts. So just for viewers that don't know what a monolith is, holy fuck. It gave me the wrong definition. 1 sec.
They're viewing us all through the same lenses. They can't separate us to see as individuals.
Can you quickly define monolith for like the YouTube viewers that are watching this later that don't know what monolith means? Because it is like a...
They're viewing us all through the same lenses. Like we're all one person. We all represent the same ideals, the same beliefs. They can't separate us as individuals and see us as individuals. They're grouping us all together based on their limited views or limited perspective of who we are without even getting to know us. That's a monolith when you're viewing one entire demographic through the same lenses as one entity.
Thank you. Because, like, I know there's going to be some fucking person on YouTube later, like, the fuck? What are you talking about? So, that, fuck you, future person, because it's YouTube, right? So it's a video.
News go out about it, and they're like, "Ugh," like we're hindering their rights from happening. And I say that as a bisexual woman. Like, I'm someone in that community, whatever you want to call it, in it, whatever.
So this would be where Monolith comes in. So she's saying that because she is a bisexual woman, she speaks for the entirety of the community.
Yeah. I'm a gay woman and I don't share her views, not even remotely.
Yeah. She's on Glue, I think. I think she's on Glue. I don't know, though.
Well, I felt heavily attacked in that live. I'm not going to deny that based on what I was hearing. And then the vilification was like absurd, a grand scale. It gets worse, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, to the people on YouTube watching, what's up, Assassin? To the people on YouTube watching, pay attention to the comments. I know I'm like leaving a bunch of comments, but the comment, this is GenXPuma talking. We're gonna iron it out for the next segment, but read her comments and like just see the way that the panel reacts to her. Because thank you for the heart meme, Miranda.
I'm calling that shit out, and I feel like it's part of my duty. It's like if I was in a church and there was something going on in my church, it would be my duty to call that shit out. If I was in my
Let's be honest, they don't do that.
job and something was happening, it'd be my duty to call that shit out. Even if I'm not. Like, if you see something, you say something, right? And there's a lot of shit that's going on right now, and we're getting shit on for saying something. I think that people who are mad at us for saying something.
She gives no specifics. It's all vague statements being made. She's not zeroing in on specific behavior she considers problematic. Once again, a monolithic standpoint.
Yeah, and it's like, if I see something, I say something, and I'm the asshole for saying something? Like,
she only wants you to say something if it aligns with their beliefs, is what I'm gathering from this. Because I'm calling this out, because I see something, I'm now saying something.
This is so much fun. What are we, 9 minutes in, 28 minutes? Let's go. It gets wild, people. Everybody that's like a long-time viewer on TikTok, go to my YouTube. Watch there. 2 more viewers. We're at 10. We're back on YouTube, motherfuckers. Let's go. This is good. This is what my YouTube channel needed. Was a little spark.
Are wild themselves for not saying something and condoning it. So
let me ask you a question, Bells.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same energy when a woman says she's bisexual as it is for a man to say he's bisexual?
Misogyny.
Yep. Like, what? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's like
The amount of men that fetishized me based on my sexuality it's absurd. Like, I've lost count. And then there's a portion of the population who thinks bisexual men and even bisexual women have to choose a side, essentially. So I'm not one to deny the fact that there's biphobia in the community and outside of the community. I'm not negating that, but what they're arguing is he's not infantilizing, he's fetishizing lesbians and bisexual women in this stance, and he's trying to compare it to bisexual men. I'm really not sure the argument he's trying to make here, other than misogyny.
He needs to tune into Mad Hatter's sex ed course, because I learned all about this in his sex ed course. That shit was fire, okay? I remember I was watching it. I'm like, what the? This is information you do not find anywhere on the internet. Like, what the fuck? He had every sexuality up there. They were all, like, telling, like, it is a thing. Like, there is, like, that stigma. But, like, when a Nazi asks that question, it's straight up just fetishizing and misogynizing the fuck out of lesbians. It's weird. This guy's a
Well,
fucking.
let's get it. Come on, the way he goes on to berate the community, he genuinely doesn't want the perspective he's trying to imply that he's seeking. Let's face it, he doesn't respect any segment of the community, any demographic under the queer umbrella. That's obvious. So I was unsure on his intentions on this were to continue vilifying the community. He's looking for acceptance through the eyes of someone who's claiming to be part of the community.
Facts. Let's see what she has to say. The question is there any difference between male bisexual and female bisexual? Let's see what LISABELLA has to say.
For me, it doesn't matter to me. Like, it doesn't faze me either way. Like, I accept you.
Asking societal.
But I think societally, yeah, there's obviously still a stigma when it comes to men being bisexual, because it's like, oh, well, if you're a man and you've been with a man, regardless if you like both, you're gay. And it's like, if you're a woman and you've been with both, it's like, oh, I kissed a girl and I liked it. So there's still stigma. Like, bisexuals get the most stigma regardless if you're a male or a female. Because
again, Mad Hatter
That's
needs to do his sex ed.
Yeah.
Like,
they don't get the most stigma. Why is she measuring who, like, that's what I didn't understand. Like, she's the way she's presenting this as if her demographic faces the most oppressive tendencies from the public, which is, I know for a fact, is blatantly fucking false.
well, she shits on trans people.
Well, that too. Well, that's an obvious part of this. But if we're just looking at surface level in terms of what they're trying to argue, gay men are often subjected to very high levels of violence based on if they're perceived as visibly gay. Like, they're often that's what she's not taking into account. She's trying to step on the shoulders of other people in the community and present herself as the biggest victim of oppressive tactics, which it's nonsense. And then she goes on to vilify trans folk in the process, like, and then asks, "We have our rights. What more do you need?" We need to continue fighting for our rights because people like them are getting on the internet and vilifying them and their arguments off the backs of children because they know this is shock factor for the masses. Oh, we got to protect kids, which is obvious. Yes, absolutely. But you're presenting false narratives to get there. Things that are not friggin' happening.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I drink Pepsi Blue Ribbon. I'm just owned by the same company as Bud Light, just saying.
We've always just been stigmatized, even by the like lesbians and gays back in the day when it was just LGB. Like, it took a lot for B to be put in there, and we still get it all the time. Like, even recently.
Can we do a fact check on that? Did it take a lot for B to be in there?
It's not true. No, she just said LGB and then acted like there was an exclusion. Like, she presented a scenario where they're included and then said we were included later. Like, it was incoherent, that whole argument. That's bullshit. That's literally not true. It's the LGB.
Recently, I posted a video recently. People being like, "Oh, she's
LGB movement started recently."
So this is when you join the chat, and then her views skyrocket.
They drastically changed tune.
Oh, it's so funny. It's just like her breathing patterns, like everything was just so different. It's like, okay. Why are you so nervous now? Was there like a thing that GenXPuma is here. Okay.
Because we've always just been.
So GenXPuma leaves a comment. Why does everyone use children when discussing the identities of others? What the fuck?
Even by the like lesbians and gays back in the day when it was just LGB. Like, it took a lot for B to be put in there, and we still get it all the time. Like, even recently, I posted a video recently of people being like, "Oh, she's a part-time carpet muncher," and "Oh, she hasn't slept with a woman in a long time." So it's like, whoa, like, what business of that is yours? And I didn't know there was a statute of limitations on, being bisexual or gay. Like, do I have to whore myself around in order to be
Oh my
Like, I
God.
don't have to do that. I don't have to sleep around with all these people just to prove that I'm what my sexuality is. And if that's what the gay community is, I don't want to be part of that.
But that is what the
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, maybe, Lisa, maybe you should explore your sexuality a little bit more before you go on the internet bashing everybody. God damn. So now she's reading your comment. Why does everyone use children when discussing the identities of...
community is.
Who's gonna lie and say she didn't?
Value of a human being, the most what is the word?
Puma, we're not talking about kids right now. We're talking just in general.
Yeah.
No,
So, let me
actually,
just finish.
she did talk about kids because she said kids shouldn't be seeing nakedness at Pride and such, which it isn't happening. So now she's negating and blatantly lying, saying she didn't mention children when in fact she did. Gaslighting me in the comments.
Oh my God, this is such good footage right now. Like, I'm like, as an editor, I'm like, oh, all you gotta do is just go a little bit back, play the clip, play that. Like, that's the clip right there. Like, no, we're not doing that. And then, well, but that's if we were ethical and we played the chronological order game. We could go about 2 minutes in the future and play the anti-chronological game, and they definitely go to children real quick.
Saying there, so
Sorry.
it is the most hedonistic value, which is the most Neanderthal part of value of a human being. The
People just to prove that I'm what my sexuality is. And if that's what the gay community is,
value of a human being, the most what is the word?
Puma, we're not talking about kids right now. We're talking just in general.
Yeah. So let me just finish what I was saying there. So
Sorry.
it is the most hedonistic value, which is the most Neanderthal part of our brain.
Hedonistic value, which is the most Neanderthalic part of our brain.
That was
He's
brainwashed.
calling gay people Neanderthals.
Absolutely, he is
Like,
vilifying and dehumanizing us.
what the fucking actual fuck is happening right now, Puma? Is this like what? It's crazy when you play it back like this, eh? It's like you notice all the dog whistles and
Oh, there's tons of them. There was tons of them.
yeah, and what's fucking wild about this too is she said she wasn't gay bashing. Like, you
As a gay
fucking-
woman, I definitely deny that. She definitely was. They definitely were.
My comment here, Mark Pre knows a lot about the gay community.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think they realize that oftentimes, like, internalized homophobia has been studied, and oftentimes it's coming from people that are deep in the closet. There was one situation that there's a video on my platform. There's, I think, a couple, I think up to 50,000 views. His name is David Matheson. He's from Ohio. He's known as the godfather for gay conversion therapy. Actually, he laid the architecture for torture for others, and God knows how many youth definitely likely has blood on his hands over this. And now he's living his life as an openly gay man after causing a ton of issues for God knows how many people in the process.
It's legit like the South Park episode.
It's more common than people realize, and oftentimes people like that think openly hating on the community is somehow keeping their desires hidden and concealed, when people in the community are looking at this from a completely different angle. We know this is coming. Who has such a visceral reaction to something that doesn't allegedly affect their lives? It's weird. Like, they're not in our bedrooms, they're not in our homes, they're not raising our children. So why the visceral reaction? It's personal to them in some way. Because I honestly I don't feel any anguish about heterosexual couples existing
Oh my
in the world.
God. Oh my God.
Absurdity.
Breaking news, everybody. Theo Von just had a fucking interview with Donald Trump. I repeat, Theo Von had an interview with Donald Trump. We will watch it later, okay? But, like, we're gonna get through this. What? Bro, he went full fucking communist with Bernie Sanders. What is Theo Von up to? Holy shit. What is happening in the world? Okay, sorry. I got distracted. One sec. I got I think 200,000 views on this video when I posted it.
We will now hear a sermon from Pastor Phillips. For those of you who are new to camp, Pastor Phillips is somebody who has broken free of the bonds that afflict you.
He's back here too.
Not anymore, because Pastor Phillips prayed, and by the hand of Jesus Christ, he's now completely cured.
So, Butters got thrown into conversion therapy because everybody convinced him he was bi-curious and he didn't actually know what bi-curious meant.
Let's hear it for Pastor Phillips, kids! Hello, campers! Yes, believe it or not, I myself used to have unclean urges, and like a lot of you, I thought I was just made that way, that I didn't have a choice. But then I realized that God didn't want me to be that way. God wanted me to be a man. So I buckled up in my little suit, and I prayed to be normal, and guess what? It worked! That's right, kids. You see, right now you're like a paperclip. And just like a paperclip, God needs to bend you and shape you and make you straight.
I love it. I got 250,000 views on that video. All I did was play that clip. 250,000. Like, god damn. It just says it all right there. We just added to that. I think we could get another 250,000. I'll upload it next time we have this this little conversation where we break down the fucking misogyny and homophobia of LISABELLA. You know, I feel like she's gonna. I don't know. I feel like this is the breaking point for her. She's not gonna feel so comfortable in her skin. Do you think so? I feel like
It's hard to know. It's hard to say. There's a lot of arrogance coming from that live.
yeah, we might actually like just help her to the point where she becomes like a fucking icon for the GOP, which would mean that we become icons of the DNC and we're gonna win the election. So fuck you, LISABELLA. You're on the wrong side of history. Yeah, no. I feel like she has it in her to be successful as a right-wing grifter. You know? It's weird. Anyways, let's go back to what we're doing.
Where it shows your sexual desire. And most people...
Puma, we're not talking about kids right now. We're talking just in general.
Yeah. So let me just finish what I was saying there. So
Sorry.
it has the most hedonistic value, which is the most Neanderthal part of our brain, where it shows your sexual desire. And most people that are part of, I would say over 90% of the people that are part of the LGBTQ identify as that. That is their whole identity, is what their sexuality is, which again serves zero purpose for society. It's self-serving. The whole thing is self-serving. Like,
I'm sorry, but I have to disagree. Disagree. Gay people are what fucking built society, you motherfucker. All right? They, Isaac
He
Newton?
views us as a walking sexual orientation. He doesn't see us as people. He continues to prove that. He's labeling us and ousting us from society based on who we love, who we're attracted to, who we date. while ignoring that he's also attracted to people in love. You know, it's the same thing. He's just perpetuating this theory that we are changing something about ourselves, going against the grain on purpose. Does he honestly think people would choose to be gay when people like that are existing in the world on a constant basis, vilifying and dehumanizing us because of who we are?
Yeah, well, I mean, Leonardo da Vinci was gay, so
Homosexuality exists in hundreds of species. Homosexuality in one. Or not homosexuality, homophobia exists in one. Same with transphobia.
there's a shitload of people that contributed to society, and it's because they were able to live their life. Homophobia wasn't a thing until like the Dark Ages. Before the Dark Ages, there were a shitload of scholars, and there's so many fucking scholars and artists that were homosexual way before all this homophobia bullshit perpetrated by the Catholic Church during the Dark Ages was a thing. Like, they're the reason that we have cathedrals. Like, they're the artists. They're a very important part of society.
Look at Harvey Milk. He's synonymous for fighting for change for the community, and actually was heavily involved in the civil rights movement that initiated the rights to the community. So he's part of the reason that she can actually sit on the internet and say that her rights are solidified and she doesn't have to fight anymore for them, despite the fact that there's people consistently trying to revoke them.
Oh, white people made the internet, don't you? Oh, I don't. That's off topic, but that was another argument I had this week. Oh, I can't wait to monologue about white people.
What has the LGBTQ ever done for society? What has it ever done? Well, how has it ever get?
Imagine.
Make it so that straight dudes don't murder their entire fucking tribe. Like, you're thinking, this dude is thinking like he's thinking Dark Ages onward. Before Dark Ages, this was not a thing. People just were fine with it. That's why we have Two-Spirit. Like,
he's perpetuating white supremacy. He doesn't even realize it.
Yeah, exactly. And white is a social fucking dog. One sec. Yeah, he definitely realizes he's perpetuating white supremacy. This guy is a full-blown Nazi, okay? He is who trained Jimmy to be a hateful son of a bitch that he is. This is Jimmy's dad. And the dude to the left of him, Death Knight, he's who did blackface with Backwoods. Okay? Like, this is a literal panel of Nazis. When Death Knight did blackface, he came back with a fucking Hitler stash. And he also straight up planned out, like, he planned out lives to be anti-Semitic. Like, this Death Knight Predator is what I call him, because that's what his username used to be when he was going after trans people for being predators. Meanwhile, his username was Death Knight Predator. That's why he changed it to Death Knight Legend. He literally did blackface, so I'm being Justin Trudeau, And then when he went to wash off the blackface, he came back with a Hitler stash. He's a fucking Nazi.
Back. It doesn't. It's self-serving. It's either you accept me for my sexuality, which people don't give a shit about. I could care less if you suck a dick or eat pussy. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. What?
Yeah, you do.
He could care less, which means he can. So he cares a little bit. I have to point that out. He couldn't care less is what he fucking wanted. Anyway.
Double negative.
Do you think I should care about this?
There's people who just happen to be gay or bi or lesbian or trans or whatever who do great things, but I see them as human beings. I'm not categorizing them by their sexuality or their identity. I'm just like, oh, you're an awesome person who did some awesome things and you're doing amazing. Keep going. You know, like that's how I am with that. But when people are just like, oh, look at.
So brave, Lisa.
And even straight people who it doesn't matter what your sexuality or your color is. If people in general, your character is, look at me, like I'm all sparkly and I'm big and like you must bow down to what I say and stuff. It's like, that's just.
Jesus fuck.
You said something, so I was like, pause.
Bow down, like
behavior.
nobody celebrating advancements. The fact that many of us survived to actually stand up and celebrate pride. Many didn't. Many haven't. Many didn't make it. And she's ignoring that. And now we have the trans. Actually, it's always been the case. The trans community barely make it into their adult years. Like the amount of people that have died fighting for basic human rights is astonishing, and evidently she has no awareness to that. So celebrating our existence and celebrating Stonewall in particular, that's what Pride is. Pride is a protest, and evidently she has no awareness to that as well. Stonewall was a riot that initiated Pride protests, and we obviously still need them because when anything is mentioned about Pride anywhere on social media, conversations like this consistently start. Vilifying the community simply for celebrating who we are. You don't see them celebrating people for celebrating things, or vilifying people for celebrating things like Canada Day or anything else for that matter. It's their focus, the hyper focused on gays enjoying who they are or celebrating who they are or celebrating how far we've come. Suddenly that's a problem. Nobody expects anybody to bow down to us. Maybe just let us exist. That's all anybody wants.
Character, and I don't care what you identify as. If you're telling people how they should speak and what they should say and act and how they should address you all the time, and you freak the fuck out and go after them if they don't do what you say,
that doesn't happen.
No, she has one demographic in mind when she's saying these things, and it's the trans demographic.
But they're so kind. They don't give a fuck. If you're not like, if they say, I'm they, if like Sammy, perfect example. You say, I do it all the time, I fuck up. She's not I fucked up there. They are not coming after me for fucking up their pronouns. It's if you do it out of fucking like
fighting on purpose.
Exactly. Like,
and you're invalidating who they are based on people can tell when you're approaching conversations in a bad faith manner. It's obvious. People that accidentally slip up, we know the intent behind it isn't to cause harm, and it's navigating inclusive language, and people are often offering safe spaces to come in and do that. But people like them, this is the irony, right? Lisa and all of them are hinging their intolerance on pronouns and the fact they think the community freaks out. They're well within their right to express their feelings when they're purposely being misgendered and purposely being pushed into an identity that they don't associate with. Because they're constantly vilifying people. They're vilifying people for their brains, and they have no awareness to it. Just like when they use this argument, oh, biological woman. Trans folk are biological. Their brains are incongruent to their bodies. And that's what they're not realizing. Like this non-biological element, it's also dehumanizing language, and they have no awareness to that.
It's a problem. And that's for anybody. them. If they don't do what you say, that's a problem. And that's for anybody.
You be you, right? And I just don't like how the direction that it turned into, because now like fucking straight people are being ostracized. Why? What did they get?
Here's the question, and I'm going to answer GenXPuma. Why does the LGBTQ care about marriage when marriage is actually a license under God?
Good question, Mark Pre. Puma's gonna answer that right now. What's up, Puma?
It's not a license. It's not a license under God, and this is him forcing his deity, his religious beliefs onto us, which is religious fascism, as far as I'm concerned. We should be entitled to the same benefits within the law that we should be entitled to the same benefits under the law that straight couples are provided. Back in the 80s, during the AIDS epidemic, do you know how many families were separated and they couldn't go see their loved ones who were on their on their deathbeds because of the relationship, because of the dynamic of the relationship? They weren't allowed because legally, in the eyes of the law, they weren't their next of kin. Things like life insurance. Gay couples couldn't be entitled to things like that as well because it was illegal in the eyes of the law to be in a civil union. So fighting for the same rights as a regular heterosexual couple, he's viewing this through the eyes of religious fascism, thinking we are not entitled to the same benefits that he is in the eyes of the government.
That was
ridiculous.
That was some fucking fire right there.
Why would you give a fuck? If you love who you love, why do you give a shit about who you can marry? Literally, what the Bible is telling you to do.
Because we love them. Jesus.
Yeah,
it's because
and it's like you
them.
got tax benefits. Like, there's so many fucking reasons you marry somebody.
Not to mention families with children. If there's not a civil union in place, what happens to those kids should something happen to those families, right? Like they're not taking these things into account. The same benefits that the government extends heterosexual couples. Like I realize there's like a theocracy angle to the government and how they view civil unions and marriage. But that doesn't mean we are adopting the religious views during the process. We have no choice. It's just because of how it's all intertwined. That doesn't mean we suddenly align with the religious belief aspect of it. It's ridiculous. So this is just proving he's viewing this through a very limited perspective as well.
Yeah, and LISABELLA deserves all of this backlash. I am not bullying her. She deserves this all. She called it upon herself.
I wouldn't even say it's backlash. This is just challenging what she put out there.
Yeah,
because like I was attacked in those comments. Like it's about to get even worse because this Mark guy goes off his rocker.
Well, it is Jimmy 1.0. Jimmy is 2.0. This is Jimmy 1.0. So this guy actually trained, and you will see like similarities between what Mark Pre has to say and what Jimmy has said on this app. It's wild. It's literally Jimmy, but older and more fascist. Well, not more fascist, just equally fascist.
And the majority of you fuckers don't even believe in God. What are you talking about? See, what that is, what you're doing right now is you're trying to spit in the face of people that are religious.
What is that? That's that would be what is it? It's the
religious fascism.
It's like appeal to nature, appeal to authority. Yeah. It's like the appeal to authority, like this fucking pretend God that we have says that gay is bad, so we have to you're mocking us by being gay. Like the fuck?
Senna, or I think Sucka brought up, mentioned pride as a protest. What I mean by that, at its core, it's a protest against the criminalization of our identities. This is essentially like the backbone of what pride actually it signifies for the community. It's a celebration, but it's also a protest in many regards at its core, because they began immediately following the Stonewall riots, and that's why they're often in June.
I'm gonna fucking do something here quick. Boom. Boom. Oh my god, Puma, this is so much this is awesome. This is ideal scenario. LISABELLA challenges me and then we just fucking full send. Like, I love it. I'll be right back. I'm gonna listen. I just gotta take a quick piss. And if it gets real crazy, I'll backtrack.
It is. What you're doing right now is you're trying to spit in the face of people that are religious. You just want to have it just to have it, not because you care about it, but because you just want to feel included on a religious.
Well, that's why we had civil unions. Civil unions were put together in order to honor people who wanted to get married. And really, marriage is what you make it. You don't have to have the government and sign pieces of paper and have your taxes all this stuff in order to like live your life happily.
Taxes came after. All that shit came after.
But civil unions were for that too. But we have our rights though. Just like she said in 2005, it was illegal for gay people to get married until 2005. And I know. But we still have, at the end of the day, we still have the right to get married now. We have the right to have families, get jobs, have homes, all that stuff. We're not oppressed anymore.
Step outside your privilege. Jesus.
So,
are you really a Gen X? Or are you
we're not oppressed anymore. We have more privileges than most people do these days. Like, there's no straight parades. And those straight people are why we're all even here to begin with. There's no straight parades and there's no like flags or anything. Like, there's none of that stuff. Like, walking down the street all year long, I'm seeing these flags flying from lampposts and things like that. And it's like, where's the Canadian flags at? You know, like, why do we need extra privileges? What are we doing that is so special, that is different than straight people? Like, what is it that we're doing that is so special?
Oh my god. That was a beautiful segment from fucking LISABELLA there. Why don't we have straight parade?
Jesus fuck. Because it's the default setting, and your average drive-through on a daily basis is a straight parade. What oppressive, what systems of oppression did anybody have to overcome simply for being heterosexual? Absolutely none. None whatsoever. They never had to fight in the eyes of the government to exist legally in society. It's never happened. The gay community can't say the same. Like, it's coming from a place of not having the full scope of the picture here, and viewing this through the lenses of unfortunately homophobia. Straight pride? Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy that this is like a thing. Like, we need straight pride. Why?
And we're not out there trying to revoke the rights of anybody that's heterosexual. We're not trying to infringe on anybody's rights. While we have a consistency of seeing politicians bring identity politics to the table, and then subsequently have people like this get on the internet and dehumanize and vilify us and chalk up our entire identities to who we date, who we love, who we're attracted to, what our gender identities are. Like, it's so contradictory, the way they argue.
It's interesting because I just asked ChatGPT why we should have straight pride, and it gave me a bunch of information about how it is a hateful fucking rhetoric and hateful propaganda. So
Well, it is.
LISABELLA, 1 second.
Radicalized talking point.
Yeah,
It really
this
is.
LISABELLA
It's a way
is a
to center
perfect
themselves.
Sorry?
It's just another way for them to center themselves and overshadow the community. Like we're not allowed to have it. We're not allowed to enjoy anything. We're not even allowed to be who we are, essentially, in the eyes of these individuals. Especially that Mark dude.
Yeah, and this is LISABELLA exactly the point where I would like to say that you were in fact gay bashing. Straight up gay bashing.
At the very least, co-signing. At the very least, she was co-signing it. She was allowing this to go on and not challenging it.
Oh well, and that's GenXPuma. Go follow her.
But the straight pride comment was that's a homophobic talking point.
It's
and there's no way around that. There's no fucking way around that.
Yeah, she got that from Ben Shapiro.
You're doing nothing.
And that's the thing. If they want to go have a parade to represent their sexual orientation, we're not stopping them.
Let's do a straight pride parade, everybody. Let's do it. Let's do a straight pride parade. I'm down. I'm down. I'm from Alberta, you know? The most homophobic province in Canada. Let's do a straight pride parade. I'll attend. I'll attend. I will have a camera and I will interview people. No, it sounds amazing. Sweets, come on. This sounds amazing. Okay, think about this. Straight pride parade. Bunch of homophobes getting together and there's like 12 of them marching down the street. Me with a camera interviewing all 12 and then going home. Sounds amazing. Sign me the fuck up.
We are like, it's not about even equality anymore. If you want more privileges, sorry, is it GenXPuma? It's about equality. We have our equal rights. What rights don't we have?
What rights don't you have, Puma?
Well, obviously, we don't have the right to exist in a space without consistently being dehumanized and vilified and having our identities brought to the forefront and in a debate stance. Like, why would you want to get married? You don't believe in God. Basically making assumptions like somehow religious gay people don't exist. Once again, lending credibility to the fact that they consistently view this community through the eyes of a monolithic standpoint.
Monolith
like
being,
we have
they're
our rights,
all
but
one. It's not there. There's a reason that there's L, G, B, T, Q, 2S. That's 6 plus, right? That's
it's
7.
autonomy.
It's
for
not a
everybody, yeah.
monolith. Monolith would mean there's one. They all work as one, right? And you guys want, not you know, I love you guys, but the people, the hate watchers, y'all are fucking weird as fuck. Stop campaigning, trying to cancel the most important part of society, in my opinion. Anyways, let's go back to this.
Not the rights. What rights don't we have? Not the, like, people get bullied all the time. You don't have a right not to have offensive things said to you. People are gonna.
Yeah.
People get bullied all the time. You don't have
Well,
a
it's
right
wild.
of not. What was that?
Yeah, she's ignoring the fact
don't
that
have a
this
right to have offensive things not said to you. Oh my! Okay, clip the fuck out of that. Clip the
She's
fuck
stomping
out of
all over hate speech laws and hate crime laws. She's ignoring it. They're in place for a reason, because you can't just go around saying offensive shit to whoever you want. You can't oppress people because you think you're in America where free speech, where we're in Canada with freedom of expression, and that's limited when you infringe on the rights of other people.
Yeah, well, even in America, it's changing though. Like we're not
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
well, it will change in the future. Like We got like abortion rights taken away and shit. So it's dark and gloomy.
Not to mention, and the anti-LGBTQ plus bills that are being introduced in droves. So she may feel like our rights are solidified, but the reality is, if we get the right politicians in office, they're going to take steps to reverse that. And if we back down now and we're not prepared and we're not fighting back against it, it's going to happen. What, you just want us to roll over and allow it to happen?
Make America gay again, guys. Vote Kamala.
Offensive things. That's all subjective. So I'm just asking.
It's all subjective, she says.
It's not.
That's a buzzword right there, Lisa. Holy fuck. And then just that tiniest bit of pushback. Oh, you baited me. You baited me. Fuck you. That was so funny.
Like, you're talking to somebody that's literally indoctrinated into, like,
well, I don't want to hate on her because, like, I don't hate the woman at all.
Hate.
Like,
it's
just we're just disagreeing on this, I guess, or maybe there's a disconnect somewhere. I'm not sure.
That's what, no, it's not hate.
I'm not, we're not debating anyone's existence, for the record. Sorry.
Their existence, fuck.
No, it's not about existence. This started off with pride, and then we just got into a conversation about pride, and then it just started, not pride in the LGBT sense, but then the 7 commandments or whatever, 7 deadly sins.
Emotion fallacy that they utilize. That's all they're just playing on your...
I'm leaving a comment right now. Just say you got baited.
Emotion.
I'm not even saying anything negative.
I was indoctrinated, allegedly. Jesus. My whole family, I grew up, I came out in the 1990s where I was surrounded by a sea of heterosexual individuals. And guess what? I still came out as a gay woman. So I wasn't indoctrinated into being heterosexual. So who in the hell indoctrinated me into being gay? Because it was so hard for me to come out based on the stigma and the ostracism fear and the fear of persecution that it sent me diving in a deep spiral towards anorexia nervosa. So, like, this affects people. The way they're talking actually has a detrimental impact on marginalized people, and they are not realizing it.
Yeah, and it's like... the thing I have the biggest problem with here is, like, at least Mark Pre is like openly homophobic, right? LISABELLA is sitting here whitewashing it, and she's got dudes in the comments like, yeah, she's a bisexual woman. Like, what the fuck? This is literally like Candace Owens level of fucking manipulation.
Well, the irony is that they were over talking and screaming at a lesbian. Like, this is my life every day. I don't get to step outside of this. I don't get to appear even as though I'm part of the heterosexual community. Like, that's the difference here. And they want to say they don't care about the community. Like, he said that a few times. Oh, I don't care about identities. I don't care who you love. I don't care. Yeah, you actually do. Because then you went into a spiel about how we are, like, basically the devil, for fuck's sakes. Deadly
we
sins and all
actually
this
come up to it
nonsense.
where he says that he hates gay people, and then he backtracks on it.
The LGBT community. I'm like,
One sec, it's loading.
Whatever, 7 deadly sins.
Emotion fallacy that they utilize. That's all they're just playing on the emotion.
I'm not even saying anything negative about the LGBT community. I'm saying some things that are negative within it that we could do better on, that are hurting us and hurting people around the world. But I'm not hating on gay people at all. So.
Well,
yeah,
I
you
am,
are.
because at the end of the day, gay people seem to think that they have this privilege that people give a shit about what their sexuality is, that they're trying to indoctrinate children during this fucking whole...
It's not all gay people that are doing that. There's just like...
No, hold on.
There's an ideology that's hijacked our community, though, through a Trojan horse. It's not the whole community.
No, it's not. Where else did you think this was going to come from, Lisa?
There's another
Where did you think this was going to end up?
I don't know. This shit has hijacked so many people's fucking communities, though. And the LGBT community is no exception. There's something that's hijacked our community, that's targeting families, it's targeting kids, it's targeting education, it's changing history, and it's changing language, and it's making people like have to bow down to it. And I don't fucking, there's so many people in that community that are speaking out against all of this ideology. Not against gay people, but against the ideology that is targeting children and families and changing all of our speech.
It's the
and making
groomers
us feel
out
like
there
we're
that-
bigots.
So is that true?
Absolutely not. She's using all the buzzwords. Ideology is a right-wing talking point. It's a right-wing buzzword. Gender ideology was part of the conservative agenda, and that is targeting the queer community as well as women's rights. Like, she's using all the buzzwords. So chalking identities and who people are up to an ideology is another dehumanization tactic. This is the problem with identity politics and blurring the lines of it. Like, they don't see basic human rights as, like, they're arguing as if they have equality, but then we're hearing stuff like this. Oh, we have radicalized individuals who are pushing an ideology. No, nobody's pushing an ideology. We just want to exist in a world without being consistently met with this kind of energy and this kind of oppressive nonsense.
And the irony gets me. It's so like, it's interesting to watch because it's like you're training a monster right now, Puma.
It's
I'm a fuck with all
the
of
problem
them.
is, like, this ideology nonsense, it's a false narrative, and it's gaining momentum because people like this are getting on the internet and implying that it's something that we're pushing on others. It's not. People just want to exist without being consistently vilified, persecuted, and ostracized. But this emerged in Latin America a long time ago and rapidly mobilized voters with the power of it, because they're preying on people's hatred. They're preying on people viewing othering people, just like we heard in the live earlier when she was on with Bry Guy, and they used the word colored. Like, that is othering the entire community, and once again viewing the entire community as a monolith. That is highly offensive, racial, derogatory term and they have no awareness to it.
So I am 9 months into this being live all the time, and I am like so deeply invested into this, like I'm learning so much about everything, and you're like actually training a monster.
Well, this gender ideology nonsense, I'm so over it, because it's just part of a socially conservative agenda. And it's conservative politicians and activists, that's who coined the phrase. It redefines reform that actually benefits women and this community.
Oh my god.
Like,
I can't wait for the election, Puma. We're gonna fucking kill it.
And the irony is that they're viewing it as an imposition of a system of beliefs that actually threatens Christian values. And he's proving that because he's consistently swinging this back to religion. Oh, why would you want to get married if it's connected to God? As
He's
if, like,
Chris so fast.
well, obvious, that's proven now. It's like it's it's proven. But this ideology,
Sorry,
every time you hear that is a
National
buzzword.
Socialist.
Well, they don't. That's a buzzword. So for those that are unaware, that ideology, gender ideology, and ideology is attributed to the queer community. That's a buzzword you're going to find heavily in conservative spaces.
She tried saying because I support socialism, I support National Socialism. She actually tried that shit today.
Oh, I heard her.
Like, are you fucking on glue? Like, am I the one that needs fucking help? Like, what the fuck? National Socialism is a Nazi. Socialism means, like, you know, you get health care, you get fucking, your kids are fed, there's, like, you know, price caps on everything. There's you know, you limit the ability of a billionaire taking over and monopolizing your entire fucking system. Capitalism sucks. We're in Canada. Just embrace the socialism, okay? I know there was the Red Scare. Ooh, communism, scary. When has communism or socialism ever worked, is what they'll say. Every fucking time. Every time that America didn't wage war on them, socialism and communism worked out fucking fine. Even through being oppressed by the American military machine, some countries were able to get out of it and have a longer life expectancy than America, have a higher quality of living than America. There's so many benefits to communism and socialism that these fucking lunatics will sit there and be like, oh, you're a socialist. That's the same as National Socialist. Fun fact, capitalists in Nazi Germany, before it became Nazi Germany, so like 1938, they didn't like Adolf Hitler because he called himself the National Socialist Party. Hitler. Okay, little history lesson for you, everybody. National Socialism is not socialism. It's fascism. It is literally fucking Nazism. So when you hear somebody say, oh, I support National Socialism, it's a dog whistle saying, I like fascism and the Nazi regime. Okay? All right? That's what that is. So, National Socialism is different from socialism. That's the takeaway I want from this monologue, okay? Just because she was really trying to drive home the point of I'm a Nazi because I'm a socialist. I'm a Nazi because National Socialism is Nazism, but Nazism was masked as a fucking National Socialist. It's not socialism. That was a lie. That's why Hitler had to fucking make deals with all of the capitalists, was because he had socialism in his name. That's how he became a fucking disgusting person in humanity's history. Like, this is not the same. He fooled his entire population with socialism. National Socialism is what he called it. It was fascism. I really want everybody to remember that, because when you call me a fucking Nazi because I'm a socialist, just remember what I said here, okay? Fuck you, LISABELLA.
And the LGBT community is no exception. There's something that's hijacked our community, that's targeting families, it's targeting kids, it's targeting education, it's changing history, and it's changing language, and it's making people like have to bow down to it. And I don't fucking, there's so many people in that community that are speaking out against all of this ideology. Not against gay people, but against the ideology that is targeting children and families and changing all of our speech.
It's the
and making us feel like we're
that
bigots
ask,
if we talk about it or something.
It's the groomers out there that ask, why can't we teach kids this? Why are you so offended by it? Because it's my fucking child and you're not going to talk to them about.
Yeah, the groomers.
Yeah, see, he said it. There was someone in the chat that was saying ideology, implying that ideology are ancient terms, so to speak. I think he's assuming that I'm somehow attributing it to modern day. I am not. This can be traced back to Latin America, this gender ideology. And one prime example is in 2013 when the Catholic bishops launched a campaign against gender ideology, and it was quickly taken up by socially conservative activists and groups and politicians. And now we are seeing a wildfire of it based on social media and the volume and the magnitude of all of this rhetoric. Nobody's
we
implying
just
that
broke
they're new.
69 viewers on YouTube. Welcome, motherfucker. Welcome. Thank you for being the 70th viewer on my YouTube channel.
And what's wild is back in
Sorry.
2013, when the Catholic bishops launched this campaign, the same bishop was saying that gender ideology was a greater threat than communism and Nazism. Like, if that doesn't tell you how extreme this is, I'm not sure what does. Because the queer community and the trans community were also targets in 1930s Germany.
Yeah, and it's wild too, because like, why is this even a thing? The
They just
trans
rebranded.
community. Okay, so 2013, that was when the bathroom conversation came up. That didn't work. So now all of a sudden it's trans people in sports. Like, it hasn't been that long. It's been 10 years. And only the last 3 years have been dominated by the media and these fucking right-wing hogs. Like, it's only been in the last 3 years, 2 years. No? Like, I know, I'm not like negating the fucking everything that people have been through in the last fucking 10 years, of course. What I'm saying is it hasn't been to this scale of like anti-trans. Like, they have upped the ante, and we've seen it just recently. LISABELLA, speak of the devil, has actually been a advocate for trans athletes in the Olympics who were fucking not trans.
Yeah, I think you know where I stand on that.
Yeah, it's like I'm connecting the dots here, so
Yeah.
it's so much fun because you're fucking Puma, you were absolutely fucking destroying every fucking talking point, and it's so much fun because I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I'm taking notes. Like I'm like
it's one thing to say this and stand on ceremony that this is who you are, but it's entirely new ballgame when you're speaking this way and then gaslighting everybody. I'm not being hateful towards the community. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. You are. I'm sorry to say. Like, I'm well versed in this, and I've been dealing with people that were consistently saying things like this my whole existence. Like I said, I came out in the 90s. Like, that, it was so taboo to even say the word gay when I came out of the closet. But I was so sick, and I had a foot in the grave that I had no choice but to embrace it, or I was never getting a hold or reshifting my focus to actually start working on my recovery from my illness. Because if that was looming over me, that fear was consuming me. And without actually acknowledging it and embracing it, I wouldn't be alive today. There's no way I would. So there's that privilege that she's not taking into account. She has the privilege of knowing how this affects other people, how this impacts other people when society is trying to push you into a box that they deem as acceptable enough for you to exist in a world without them persecuting you.
But she's bisexual.
She may very well be, but it still doesn't. I feel like oftentimes there was a weaponization of that particular part of her identity to lend credibility to what she was saying. Like, you have to take my words because I'm a member of the community. We have problematic
Exactly.
people within the community in every walk of life. Look, we have Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy are gay men. Like, there's problematic people within all walks of life. Are we going to label the entire community as the few radicalized within it? That's not fair. We're not doing that to them. Like, that's what they're not seeing. Yeah,
But
we have
white people are like not treated as fairly.
see, there isn't a single person that can articulate the systems of oppression that are in their way to achieve what they want to achieve. There isn't. They just want to get on the internet and say, oh, well, because I'm this, because I'm white, because I'm heterosexual, I'm undergoing oppression. I haven't had a single person articulating an answer to me how that is a reality for them.
Cue the tape of Alberta Strong and Free talking about how his daughter can't get a job because she's just a white female, and it's she's just got it worse than all of the brown people. Like, bro, this runs so deep. There's so much content from this video. I'm so glad we were both here to witness it. It's so good. So good. This is content, Puma. This is prime content. We are fucking killing it right now. We could have 400 viewers, but I can't figure it out. So everybody tap the screen. Send gifts, do your part. Send a rose. It's half a penny. Share the live, and we got 10 more minutes, and we've been going for fucking. Okay, so people that say I clip chimp, we just turned 20 minutes into 2 hours. Okay, like that is not clip chimping. That is ethical reacts, okay? So anybody saying I am... No, TikTok is not punishing me. There's other stuff going on. People know they can watch this later, so... Set a new goal. All right. Puma, this is such perfect timing. We gotta do this more often. Like,
oh, I'll gladly counter their arguments, but like I wasn't willing to continue doing it in the comments because I was like the way they were speaking, I mean, they're about to see it. But she wanted to have a private conversation with me, but how is that combating what she said in the live? It's not.
There's that, and then also there's the quote culture war happening right now. So like there is no shortage of this content. Like this is one person we know. Thank you for the flowers. This is one person we know. There's so many more people like this, and I'm gonna do some digging and I'll find more rants like this. It's we got 11 on YouTube and 25 on TikTok. But we're going to get like 250 views on YouTube with this. So, and this is like classic content. So this is shit that will go down in the history books. This is episode 1. This is episode 1. So this is like a historic fucking episode. So this is actually episode 1. That's crazy. Whoa. This is episode 1, Puma. This is a different genre. This is fucking awesome. Okay. Continue.
Your sick mental personality disorder. You're not going to talk about it at all like that to my child, and I'm going to have a say in it. There's a lot of people out there like me that are fucking tired of seeing these goddamn flags flying everywhere, all in the name of inclusivity, when all they ever do is exclude themselves because they want to be the new wow factor. Oh, look, I'm a man that can be a woman. Oh, look, I'm non-binary. I don't believe in the binary system. I don't have genitals. I have things that are just there. Give me a fucking break, you fucking retards. I'm sorry, didn't say that, but it.
Trigger warning. Whoop, 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 whoop. We did
See,
not say that.
Once again, driving their bigoted arguments home off the backs of children. Nobody wants their kids. We want queer children to survive. We don't want their kids. Queer, like adults that are a part of the community were once children that were part of the community, despite their views. They think we're changing something. They think trans people are changing their gender when in reality, they're affirming it. Like this is just lending more credibility to the monolith, and they're just completely invalidating identities in the process. Like nobody wants anyone's children. Like I don't even know, like he's pulling that out of thin air, and it's because they think there's a shock factor behind it. If it's protecting the kids, that their arguments are valid, they're justified. When in actuality, no one even mentioned this man's kids. And if he thinks a flag of bright colors is forcing something on somebody, I got some bad news for him, because like the symbols, there's tons of symbols in the world. He's triggered by a flag, and that's what I said in the comments, and he just like went off. Presentation is bothering him.
You guys crushed that live goal in like 5 minutes, so I don't even know.
What this guy is saying is that visual representation, us being visible in society, is a problem to him because he's seeing it as some sort of attack on his kids, when the vast majority of the world has no awareness who his children are. It's a weird argument to be hinging this off of the
kids.
I don't even know, but I know LISABELLA. I've heard that she doesn't have kids, but a lot of her arguments are center focused on kids. Even these arguments, like where she said, "Pride, there's kids seeing nakedness." That's a quote, like literally not happening.
Yeah, and
wouldn't that be on the parents that are bringing the kids to these events? How is it on people within these events? Like that's the thing. Like she's taken the responsibility and putting it solely on the shoulders of the community, like by lying. Essentially, there's indecent exposure laws. Like this shit wouldn't fly. So to lie and push this propagated narrative, it's just that's all it is. It's propaganda. It's literally not freaking happening. But then they ignore things like this. I know in Nova Scotia there's like this bike ride where people are literally nude. Do they have the same energy on like nude beaches and such? It's always attributed to the community in some way. It's always twisted back to the community by using propagated talking points, ingrained in non-reality, because this isn't happening.
Yeah, it's... Guys, stop. I'm fucking trying to think here, and you guys just keep fucking sending me gifts. Like, well, don't stop. You guys are awesome. What the fuck? Is that Kiwi? Kiwi, are you doing? Yeah, it's Kiwi. Kiwi's just overloading me with gifts right now. So what the fuck? Where did my video go? Sorry, I lost my video, so I'm trying to find it. What the fuck, man? I fucked up. We are so close to being done. Kiwi, you're the fucking shit. Give me 2 seconds. We gotta get this shit open again. I tried logging into my fucking... Like, why are we doing this? Can we not? Sorry, guys. 1 sec. Streaming is actually hard, okay? Sometimes you make mistakes and you have to fix them and not have dead air. And it sucks.
all in the name of inclusion.
See that shit?
When all they ever do is exclude themselves because they want to be the new wow factor. Oh, look, I'm a
Do you exclude yourselves? Like,
I love how he's talking for the community, but he's not part of the community.
he might be. No offense, but he might be a little bit.
Seems deeply personal, that's for certain.
be a woman. Oh, look, I'm non-binary. I don't believe in the binary system. I don't have genitals. I have things that are just there. Give me a fucking break, you fucking retards. I'm sorry.
So, like, what about, like, the people that are born with XY chromosomes? Like, is he just, like, doing, like... Well, he is. It's definitely he's doing some fucking, you know...
Well, he has a very limited view. Like, he's conflating sex and gender on a constant basis to drive these arguments home. If we look at the intersex population, if we're not taking their brain sex identity into focus, how in the hell do we know what their gender identity it actually entails? Like, they're often forced through irreversible surgeries, and oftentimes they have no idea what gender they're going to align with. Like, that's what people aren't really understanding. That should be a demographic that you can look to understand, like, yeah, okay, maybe, just maybe, my arguments are invalid. Like, your brain sex comes into focus, whether people see that or not. Like, and that's why I often utilize one specific study when I'm discussing the trans population, because it's quite simplistic in terms of being able to understand it. They had 3 groups of people participating in the study. One group of cis men, a group of cis women, and then there's a group of trans women. And they do MRI scans, and neuroscientists actually stipulate in this study that the brain sex of the trans women aligns with female typical brain, despite the fact there is no gender affirming hormone therapy on board. So if we're going on this notion that trans folk don't exist, how in the hell is that occurring? If the androgens flowing through their body is that of assigned sex at birth of male, how in the name of goodness is their brains correlating with a female typical brain? That's just, people just aren't seeing that because they can't see the brain. So they're seeing what constructs are telling them to see. And when people are not abiding by these constructs, they're vilified like this guy's doing right now.
Kiwi... Everybody help out Kiwi. She's just been going through these live goals like crazy. I just hit the first flare I've ever hit. So let's see how this goes, Puma. We got 30 minutes. Let's go. You ready?
Wouldn't say that, but it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's not the flag, Puma. It's what it represents and how it's taking over. And we're talking about, like, I don't know about Mark and them, but I'm talking about gender ideology. It's what's targeting families and targeting children and targeting reality, targeting biology, targeting women, targeting men. Gender ideology has hijacked the LGBTQ community.
Yes, I said.
Gender
Is a conservative
ideology
buzzword.
has hijacked the community. Kiwi,
How are they how is
call-
one's identity targeting the community, targeting men, targeting women? How is it? How is that happening? How is everyone has a gender identity. Everybody.
I'm
they're
really
focused on
trying to
one.
fucking think here. I actually genuinely cannot think of gender ideology coming for me. Like, I think I'm doing just fine over here.
But what we're seeing is they're apathetic in terms of being comfortable in the pocket of not exploring inclusive language discussions. This is the whole thing, right? This is the same group of people who view cisgender as a friggin' slur. Even though there's no oppression attached to it. It just means you actually identify with the gender that in their eyes they're conflating sex and gender. So if you're assigned female at birth, cisgender just means you identify as a woman on the same side of. So that's the thing. Like, and then you have the portion of the population who thinks cisgender, people expect them to use it as a pronoun. Nobody does. It's friggin' implied. Just like when you see me in public, it's implied that I'm a woman. That's what cisgender is. It's implied, unless someone comes out as trans or non-binary.
Yeah.
I don't know how
facts.
it's infringing on anybody's rights. I honestly, I'm still stumped on that, and I've been asking that question for years now.
And targeting
How is anyone's
reality, targeting biology, targeting women, targeting men, gender ideology has hijacked the
Yes, I
LGBTQ
said-
community
yes, I
with
said
the Trojan
Danielle.
horse of life-saving care and inclusion. That's the Trojan horse, but it's not doing anything for us. It's regressing us, and it's causing more hate for us. And the only homophobia that I've ever experienced has actually only come from this radicalized LGBTQ community that I don't even recognize anymore.
Well, no one. Well, I mean, I'll tell you one thing right now: a straight person is definitely not scared of a gay person. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Everyone.
I
They're
just
limiting
wish
the
that
definition of.
there are people
of
that are
phobia.
radicalized. There's going to be people that are radicalized in every single demographic. There's radicalized religious people. There's radicalized people that aren't religious, that are super atheists. There's radicalized flat
Mercury.
earthers and people like that. Like there's radicalized people in the LGBT community. Yes. There's men out there that literally think that they can get pregnant. There's actual males, XY males out there that think that they can feel like a woman, and then they're getting periods, and that they're going to get pregnant, and that they can breastfeed, and that they are actually a woman. That is
Fact
Blatant
check.
propaganda. Blatant fucking propaganda. That's literally not happening.
Yeah, it sounds like propaganda.
She's
Like-
exacerbating the trans men is essentially what's going on. She's ignoring the fact that trans women they have the equipment to actually carry children. She's pushing blatant propaganda because I don't even know if I have the proper words for that statement, to be honest, because it's so out there. It's so out there.
This is what I love about LISABELLA. She brings all of the talking points.
Well, she hit a lot of
radicalized people that I'm talking about, Puma. It's okay if you don't agree. It's okay if you don't agree. Maybe we could have a better conversation one-on-one, Puma, about this stuff, because I feel like there's a lot of misunderstanding happening.
Why would you want to have a conversation with somebody that?
Yeah, why would you want to have a conversation with somebody like this, Puma?
See, what I took from that, like full disclosure, was that she wanted to have me understand her point of view, which I'm sorry, I already do. I understand exactly what went on in that live, and I understand her standpoint, and it's coming from a transphobic standpoint. And she wanted to have the conversation with me rather than me addressing it publicly and not challenging her statements on the live. That was like, that's possibly one of the most homophobic lives I've stopped in. I've actually joined my entire time on TikTok.
Like
Hands
I
down.
said, she brings all of the talking points. It's wild.
And I'm not accusing anybody of being homophobic, but the talking points that were brought into this discussion, so to speak, were blatantly transphobic and homophobic.
Oh yeah, yeah. It like,
And I feel like she tried to maneuver her way around that reality by stamping the bisexual label onto it, saying, "Oh, because I'm part of the community, this is lending credibility to what I'm saying." But she can't negate the fact that that was indeed a harmful live, and the rhetoric that was being pushed is vilifying so many people. And I don't know what it's going to take to have her self-reflect on this, because she then goes into talking about mutilating children, which again is blatant propaganda.
yeah, you have to be 18 plus.
Freaking
Yeah,
nuts.
it's
I don't know, because
wildly
sometimes it's
restricted to adults.
maybe it's good to sit down and talk with people.
Sorry.
It's wildly restricted to adults. Like this is literally not happen unless you're cisgender or intersex and they're forced through irreversible surgeries because the medical professionals and the parents are choosing a gender that they prefer. nobody talks about that. They don't really want to get into those discussions. They just want to focus on one demographic.
Yeah.
And then you got
So
the other, and then you got cis kids, cis children. Like the numbers are staggering in terms of breast augmentations for teenagers. Nobody brings that up either. It's all gender affirming care that is attributed to the trans and the non binary community.
I'm from Alberta, where we ban that. We're truly a patriot by hating fucking 1% of the population.
And that's just it. And that's a prime example. Alberta's a prime example. So Danielle Smith, Marlena, or whatever her name is, she's now pushing, well, the propaganda surrounding it is that she's changing the current landscape of Alberta, when in actuality, the restrictions that are in place now in terms of gender affirming surgeries and care were in place since 2010. She's just coming in now and making it look like she's making changes to somehow intrude on, now it's pronouns in schools. Like, you're trying to limit language in a place of learning. It's all just she's trying to present as if she's appealing to a certain demographic of bigots, but when in actuality the current landscape is and was already in place. She's changing nothing. I've presented all the evidence on this on my platform. There's so many videos on this where I actually present the documents of the gender affirming surgery protocols that are in place in Alberta specifically.
I went to a school where if you were suspected of being gay, you were sent to conversion therapy. So,
Torture. Yep, torture.
literal torture. I only know of like 2 people that went to it, and they were traumatized when they came back. So, it doesn't work. You guys, these Republicans are gonna just have to fucking accept the fact that this is a reality and this is biology, and they're gonna just have to sit back and watch the world not be fascist towards gay people. Like, get over it. You guys are fucking weird
about this stuff, because I feel like there's a lot of misunderstanding happening.
Why would you want to have a conversation with somebody that is freaking nuts?
I don't know, because sometimes it's maybe it's good to sit down and talk with people who you don't agree with, so that we can better understand each other's perspectives.
You're not gonna. There's not. What kind of perspective do you want to understand from these people? What kind of?
I don't know. I used to think like them, so I actually know what perspective they're coming from, because I used to be a leftist. I used to think exactly like they do, but now I understand more, and maybe I can share information so that they can understand more, instead of calling me names and saying that I'm all these things. They can understand where I'm coming from and why I feel this way, and see. Like, I don't think a lot of these people listen to detransitioners. I don't think a lot of these people listen to the whistleblower.
What is it, like 1% of
It's less
trans
than
people?
1%.
Less than 1%?
It's less than. And you know why a lot actually detransition? Societal pressures, limitations within the healthcare system. This is not the argument they think they're making. They're part of the problem in terms, and many detransitioners transition again. They're ignoring that element of it. They just want to hinge their judgment on the act, and they're making assumptions in terms of why people detransition. Yeah, there absolutely are people out there that do, but the way they're spinning it is that like there's a massive number. It's just not the reality of this. But once again, this is individuals intruding on the private medical decisions of strangers, because they think they're in a position to have a say about how other people navigate their own bodies, their own medical needs. Like, it's wild. They want to be in their language, the way they present language. They want to be in their pants. They want to be in the medical. They want to be in their doctor's offices. Like, the irony is that a lot of these people were angry about a vaccine. How dare people expect us to disclose anything to do with our medical care? And now we have people legitimately trying to revoke people's access to medical care needs. They're not physicians. They're not in a position to rewrite the books in terms of who should and shouldn't receive gender affirming care. They just don't have the credentials to be making these decisions for absolute strangers.
Yeah, this is like, it's interesting to see Her handle's right there. We're going through Discord, so follow her. She's top G.
I think a lot of them just listen to what they want to listen to. I've listened to both sides, so this is why I stand where I stand. You know what I mean? I don't know. This is just where I am. I'm not transphobic or anything. I care.
This is coming from a group of people that are, trans activists that are still voting in for Hamas. That are actually like this.
You didn't. He didn't. He just said these are the same people that are voting for Hamas.
And speaking of indoctrination, he's trying to sway her away from having a conversation from a different perspective. Wouldn't that be the definition of indoctrination? Like, you don't want an opposing view. You don't want anybody hearing an opposing view. Why? If you're so strong in conviction, why is that bothering you?
He's a fascist.
Well, clearly.
Like, weirdly fascist. So, like, he's weirdly fascist. This guy needs psychological help.
For Hamas, give me a break. These guys will throw you off a fucking building if you went over to Israel or Gaza and tried to advocate for your trans rights or your gay rights. This is how stupid people are.
Oh, please do enlighten us on our own intellect.
I think Hamas has enough on their plate to be prosecuting goddamn fucking trans people. Or there's no trans people. They were already fucking blown to smithereens. But like, let's be honest, they're fighting a war against America. They don't care if you're gay. Okay? They don't give a shit. That's not a thing.
But the irony is that I think he would do the same thing based on the way he's arguing. He's like vilifying the whole community.
It's
based on his views. Like, I wouldn't exactly feel safe around him if I was on top of a building with him.
Yeah, he's weird. This guy has got some radical ideas.
And I'm not joking. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's just like, I don't understand how people think. And yes, we talk about kids in our arguments because children as young as like 13 years old, and I've posted videos of a girl that's talking about it. She's actually suing the doctors that did it to her. At 13, she got a double mastectomy because she felt like she was a boy. And she realized that obviously she's 13. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She couldn't consent to this. She didn't know the long-term ramifications because they're not telling them the long-term ramifications. They can't understand them anyway, even if they did. It's not informed consent. Kids cannot give consent. Kids are being put on the same drugs that they gave to sex offenders in prisons to castrate them.
So, double vasectomy at 13... propaganda, yes or no?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought so.
In Canada, to have any sort of top surgery, it's 16 years and up. And I love how they're only focused on one demographic that undergoes such things. Like, what about there's so many, they're very selective in their intolerance when it comes to gender affirming care. Cisgender individuals are the predominant demographic that undergo any sort of gender affirming care. There's so many elements to what gender affirming care entails.
The president of WPATH, the World Professional Association for Transgender Health, was on a Zoom call. You guys should look up the WPATH files. They've been exposed. These Zoom meetings came out, and the president, who is a trans woman herself, Marcy Bowers, she did the surgery on Jazz Jennings, botched that one too, said that all of her male patients who took puberty blockers at Tanner stage 2, which is between the ages of 13 and 15, all of them have sexual dysfunction. None of them can reach orgasm. All of, like, they can get pleasure but they cannot reach orgasm. They're infertile. And there's nothing she can do about it. She's like, this is a problem and we need to do it, because every single one of my male patients is suffering from this who took puberty blockers at that age. So we need to figure out what we can do to reverse that. And that's what got out. And I'll post it after this. After this live, I'll post that because I have it saved. But this is what this is what we talk about when we bring up kids, because kids are being essentially experimented on. There's no child who has gone through this stuff, we cannot look at them and say like, they're 60 years old now and they're alive and they're fine. That's never happened. This is all.
So, this study, is it like legit, or like, is this also propaganda?
Oh, it's propaganda. The irony is that she's speaking about Jazz Jennings. Jazz Jennings knew by the age of 2 and 3 who she was. Her family didn't push back against this child's self-expression. Jazz is another individual who didn't undergo any sort of gender-affirming care until they were an adult. Jazz made these decisions. This wasn't something where somebody made the decision for Jazz. I don't think Jazz would appreciate somebody with these views using them as a gotcha. I know for a fact they wouldn't.
Yeah,
Like
this
this,
is.
and I'm sorry. There's so much friggin' cringe talking about orgasms and children. Like, I'm sorry that made me deeply uncomfortable.
Good point. Good point. That was a lot
Like,
to go through.
God. It was sexualizing people to drive bigoted arguments home is just, I don't know. It just kind of signifies that there's a consistent focus on the private areas of other people.
So it says right now we're at 38 viewers, but we're actually at 267. So
Experimental. This is where we come from when people are talking about kids and stuff. We're not trying to say we hate the community. We don't hate the community. We're going after the doctors and we're going after the psychologists who are activists.
I fucking hate the community.
I don't hate the community. I don't hate the community.
Well,
you can feel the way that you feel about it. That's fine. You have your right to feel the way you do. And I'm, like, I might not agree with you, but you have the right to feel the way you do. But I don't want that to get mixed up with my, like, where I stand and stuff.
Lisa,
I'm trying to save our community from whatever the fuck has hijacked it.
What are you trying to save? Like I asked.
I don't know. We have a right to exist. We have a right to have our families and to live. But I'm not saying we don't exist.
You just said the right to exist. What does that mean? Through your sexuality? That's the only way that you have the right to exist is through
No, it's not necessarily that. Like, just from where things have gone to where they are now, like, we were good for a good chunk of time. And then it just started going downhill recently because of all of this gender ideology shit being pushed in schools and in all the movies and all the commercials, all the TV shows, on all the kids, on all the games, on everything. Everything. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You talk.
what the fuck?
She has a problem with representation is what we're seeing. How dare people be visible in society when they hold these views is essentially the energy it's giving. We were also vilified through these lenses in one point in time. Transphobia is homophobia on speed, as far as I'm concerned. Like, intruding on the identities of others and radicalizing them in with your viewpoints is essentially what's going on. Inclusive language shouldn't be viewed as a radical situation. It's what I'm getting is people don't want to involve themselves in these. They want to remain stagnant in their views because embracing inclusive language it would actually cause them to self-reflect, which evidently some people just aren't willing to do.
Yeah, that would be like hate crime against their religion, don't you know? Fucking weirdos.
And what they're not realizing is people engaged in these discussions, gender identity is a protected attribute in this country for a reason. Like, in the Human Rights Act, it is a basis of prohibited grounds of discrimination. Everyone has a gender identity.
Nuclear family.
Like,
Yeah, no, like, this is This is some golden fucking homophobia content right now. So, remember what she was saying earlier, guys? How she wasn't gay bashing. I beg to differ.
I'm sure the trans folk that are in the comments would beg to differ as well, because this is like gender affirming care is life saving care, whether people want to accept that or not. It's just the reality. And expecting kids to go through a puberty cycle that is going to cause some serious anguish for many within the community. Like, people are ignoring that puberty blockers aren't solely attributed to the trans demographic. There's many cis kids that actually take it as well. But again, this is just, they're only attributing these things to one portion of the population.
Yeah, it's weird. And, oh man, I have so much of this content. I love it. There's
like, trans kids exist. Come on, like, kids can understand their own gender identity at a very young age.
All of these people are sitting here bashing gay people while questioning their sexual identity. I swear to God, it's like, if you're like a straight dude who is like confident that you're straight, you don't do this shit. This is some weird, like, underground bullshit of like, you thought about this shit a little bit too much. And I think that might be why trans porn is, statistically speaking,
it's
more popular
highly sought
in
after.
Republican states. Like, they're fucking weird, man. Like, they have like some deep-rooted issues that they have not worked out. I swear to God, this is not normal behavior. Like, if you see this type of behavior, just trust me, this is not normal behavior. This is like some fucking weirdo fucking groiper shit. All right? So, sorry you guys had to be exposed to this shit, but sometimes
it's so harmful, and they don't realize, like, they're ones talking often about mental health and how they're just ignoring the demographic that they're consistently targeting. Suicidal ideation, for instance, it's very high in terms of, especially the trans and the non-binary demographics. Like, the percentage is really high. So this kind of rhetoric could very well push someone over the edge, and they don't seem to care. They just don't seem to care. They're seeing people debate their right to exist in a world based on their limited views of the constructs they're trying to force everyone into. Like, by making how it would affect someone else.
facts.
Ideology and the fucking sexual orientation and all that shit put into school.
That's the whole definition of LGBT.
But that's not what it used to be.
Okay,
Whatever.
So
This is a depopulation scam, honest.
Yeah, it used to be you got fucking whipped.
It's sterilizing kids.
How is it helpful to put yourself in a box?
You know, gay people can have
I don't live
kids.
my life like that.
What's up, Puma?
Just this depopulation silliness. Like, gay people still have the reproductive systems to actually have children. It's not only solely attributed to heterosexual couples or the act. This is more propaganda. Depopulation, how? Gay people have been existing since the dawn of time, and population continued to grow.
Facts.
When I have these conversations, I bring up my sexuality because it's relevant to the conversation. Because if I don't, I have to explain a million times, I'm bi. Because they're like, you have no right.
Because you have to enter that box. They're putting you into a box that stands with capital letters, LGBTQ. Every single one of those letters is a separate box that
Take
they're
care,
putting
Malcolm.
themselves into. Okay, that's it.
It's called
really that
autonomy.
simple. It's really that simple.
Well, I'm not put in a box. I just happen to be bisexual, and I see something going on within the community that has been made
Danielle,
of.
suck a dick, Danielle. You're such a troll. Zach's mom, such a troll.
Why are you?
That's another person that just sits there. All they do is just look for attention and just woe is me bullshit. Grow the fuck up, Danielle.
I don't want to have that kind of vitriol in here.
Mike, well, I'll drop out.
No, you don't have to drop. You don't have to drop. But Danielle, you need to stop too. Danielle needs to stop too.
She just sits there. No, ever since you
Danielle, I'm gonna mute you. Like, I'm not taking these. You got to learn what the actual definition of bigot is. You got to know what the.
You need to learn the definition of bigot. Like, oh, I'm so much more intelligible than all of you guys. Do you not know what bigot is? The handle's right there.
Definition of a bigot is before you start using the word.
But like, not for that. This is like episode 1. You gotta go to my YouTube. The one debunking all of these fucking dumbasses points. That's the handle. The person talking right now, I'm not even gonna. You gotta go to my YouTube to find that. So
Words are losing their power because they're being misused so much. Like, people are actually taking it as a fucking badge of honor now, being called these things, because they get called it so much and it's out of context and it's not when it's needed, and it's just lost its power. Yeah, that's.
good lord.
I don't think the word bigot hasn't lost its power, not even remotely. I'm not quick to label someone as a bigot because, like, frankly, when I come out of the closet, I had to extend the grace of people coming in and learning that I'm no different than I was before coming out of the closet. Like, if I was quick to label my own family as bigoted, I wouldn't have the support system I have today. So there is definitely room for people to grow from a standpoint of a belief they once held through the eyes of vilifying the community. I've seen it on this app even. So it's a matter of being open to another perspective, and unfortunately there's just some that are not.
We got like 2 more minutes. I am like, my back hurts. I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for this to be over. But like, god damn, this was a good episode. Let's listen to the last 2 minutes. We'll play it on 1.5x, and then we'll call her a day. This was, I feel like we just like that was very not what I don't think she expected that when she was like, oh, when was I gay bashing? Let me show you, Lisa. Like, fuck.
Words.
Well, you're not going to have power when you have people that put themselves in boxes and want extra privileges like the LGBTQ does. They don't want to have the same rights. They want to be excluded and have different rights. They want words to be changed.
It's the radicalized community. The fucking majority of the community is putting their heads down and just fucking moving on with their lives because they just want to be treated like everybody else, and they're not doing anything to cause problems. But there's a lot of people right now who are being highlighted causing problems for a lot of people, which is causing a lot of like civil unrest. Because there's like that fringe minority of people in that community that are a very loud part of it. And I don't know, they're just doing so many crazy things.
It seems pretty radical in a sense.
It is radical.
Well,
I don't recognize it anymore.
Radical with radical, it really is. Like, I do digress. I don't hate gay people. I hate
He hates them.
Oh, he legitimately said he hated the community previously.
Yeah, he did.
Recognize it
And
anymore.
what fucking different rights that we want? We want the same rights that are extended to the rest of the population. Nobody wants extra privileges.
Sorry, I was
extra rights. Like, that's just foolishness.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, what the fuck are they even
Propaganda.
She doesn't recognize the community. When the fuck did was like she? How old is she? Like 32, 34? Who cares? She's not that old. Like this shit's been going along a long ass time, and she probably wasn't. She wasn't even fucking aware of her sexuality, and she's trying to speak to the whole 80%. Like what the fuck, man? It's so it's blasphemy. This is blasphemy.
It's so harmful.
Yeah, it's. Thank you, Kiwi. This is blasphemy. There was just like 250 people in here. Like we were on the FYP, so that was fun. First flare.
What does that mean?
It's what the LGBTQ stands for. It's what it stands. It doesn't. It's not the person themselves. It's what they stand for. It's like I said, putting yourself into a box, being separate from everyone else, asking for special rights and privileges because your sexuality defines who you are.
Okay, I get that. I get that. I get that.
It's absolutely ridiculous, and that's where I stand on the whole thing here. That's where I stand on it. I don't like the ideology. I didn't say I hate the community. Yes,
hate what it represents, which is just like
acknowledging Opera GX because that's.
He hates the community.
I love how he's speaking from a perspective like he has insight when he's it's all propaganda and nonsense nuggets essentially. It was like what? It's like I said, that was brain rot, especially Mark.
I feel like he may or may not have like experimented or something in his like youth years, and now he just has like a disdain. Like this is like a weird level of hatred. Like I don't know.
That's what I mean. It feels personal. I'm not speculating in terms of what he has done in the past or anything, but coming from based on what I'm observing, this feels like a deeply personal. I don't know. I can't make sense of why somebody would hate the community so much. Like saying our entire identity is something because we celebrate and are open about who we are, where he's standing in a place of abiding by the default, essentially. Like people think heterosexual is a default setting, and somehow we're changing something. It's there's so much there's too much to unpack there, let me tell you, because I could be here for days unpacking all of that.
We got part 2 coming.
It's just I don't know. Like I honestly, what's concerning to me is that there's no awareness to the level of harm that has come from just these few minutes. How long was this? 26 minutes.
20.
The amount of people, the amount of people that could have witnessed these lives, and there's no awareness to the effect it could have on the demographic they are targeting, and that's where they're simmering in privilege. They think it's just a discussion on the internet when they're radicalizing the whole community. Gender ideology, they're essentially grouping all trans and all non-binary folk into this perspective of gender ideology, which again is just a conservative talking point used to vilify the community. And they're falling in line to it. Like we all have gender identities, all of us. It's just they have a problem with somebody affirming their gender identity because they don't fit into the constructs. Nobody's changing anything.
Well, we definitely because I hit that flare at like the perfect time. We were like sitting at like 370 viewers. You couldn't really see it because it doesn't show it, but there was like 400 people watching that. So I feel like we definitely did a better job of debunking than like whatever the fuck they were. Next time we're going for the 1,000. So Yeah. That was there's another part to it, but oh my god, it's a heat wave. It's so fucking hot in my room. I can't do it anymore. I can't wait for winter when it's not like fucking 40 degrees in here. Go to sleep. I don't need to go to sleep. I need to fucking sit in front of an air conditioner unit. Like, it's hot as fuck right now, okay? Like, I got my laptop. I've been cooling my laptop with my fucking... got my mini fridge going. It's hot, bro. I gotta fucking... Next summer, I'm getting an air conditioner unit in my room. I don't even... You know? Like... But,
Is that live? Is that segment done? I want to jump in the comments.
yeah, it's done.
Okay, jump over.
Thank you, Puma, for joining. That was best case scenario right there. Like, fuck. That shit was fucking beautiful. Oh. Puma is like one of the most well-spoken people I've met on this app, and she is so fucking educated. I love listening to it because, like, this is shit to study. Like, she went through every fucking talking point and destroyed every single talking point. It's actually kind of crazy because, like, there's only so many talking points, I guess, that you could really use. And LISABELLA went through all of them. So, I'll be right back. I gotta go get some water. Oh boy. My top gifters, we went through so many goddamn live goals. It's kind of crazy. We're going through live goals like every minute. So like Sweets, Kiwi, Probable Falls, Bruce Murphy, maybe. Anthony. Yeah. That was next time we do that, I hope to have a better system. I was kind of done out of like desperation. Let's get her done type thing. So yeah, next time we'll figure it out so it's a little bit more streamlined, but I haven't streamed on YouTube and TikTok in a week and a half. So yeah. See what's going on in the world of TikTok right now. Arrow! Sorry, one sec. Arrow! No, it's okay. I was just fucking with you. I was intentionally yelling at you. Yeah, you're good. What's up? Are you playing with a toy? Oh, you got a toy. My dog does not give a fuck if I yell at her. Okay? She legit does not give a fuck. Because once again, I trained my dog.
Like, it's disgusting.
You were hired by Trudeau to spread the communism. Cool story, bro.
Oh, Isaac. Yeah, what's going on, man?
Hi, Isaac.
Isaac. You want to come up in a box again? Well, maybe we can actually have a fucking decent, real conversation, Isaac, or you still gonna be all like fucking butthurt?
Right, so there's that.
Yeah, maybe we could have a decent conversation now that you only have 6 viewers, you fucking bitch.
6.
I have a new picture of Moise's mom.
Oh. That was... Anthony, I feel like you may or may not have some past life experiences. Like, that sounds like a past life. Just saying. God damn. Should I try again? Maybe we'll try again.
And it's inside conversation.
I've heard you guys have civil conversations in the past. Civil conversations.
You don't like that, though. He's even admitted to that. He's like, I don't like it when Brian's not. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Brian, it's because you're a fake ass son of a bitch who doesn't actually have a genuine fucking like you're coming at it at a standpoint where you want to say, "Oh, I was nice to him, he wasn't nice to me." The only reason that you No, Brian, one sec.
Prove me wrong, man. Prove me wrong.
Let me just turn my live status off here so I don't give you any
Oh yeah, give me any clout.
exactly, right?
Like I care about the clout, Isaac. Like fuck off, bud. You're the one that cares about the clout.
Right. Okay, so what, you're just sitting here crying to me about me to 5 people?
I'm sitting here crying about. No, I'm not crying about you, Isaac.
Yeah, you are. I literally walked in and you're crying about me. Watch the people roll in, Brian.
Okay, watch them roll in.
Yeah, I'll leave when it hits 30.
Because of you, right, Isaac?
Well, it's obviously not you. Look at your background, you fucking coward.
Wow. Why, Isaac? Because I don't do the dramatic lives.
Okay, Brian, you're not a great person. Prove me wrong. Are you a good person, Brian?
You're not a great person, Isaac.
You're not a great person.
Question is anybody on this app a great
Shut up, Red.
I'm a great person.
I'm talking to Brian right now.
I know, and I
Yeah, let me talk to Brian, okay? No. Let me talk to Brian. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Brian. You're not the moderator. Brian's the moderator. I want to talk to Brian.
Okay,
Brian.
talk to Brian. Enjoy your conversation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does it feel good to have power over a lady there, Isaac? Is that what makes you feel good?
She's interjecting herself and throwing... I don't need fucking update from the peanut gallery, okay?
Is it because she's a woman?
Yeah, totally. You fucking... Are you that daft, bro?
But that's what it seems like, though.
Yeah. Is the reason you guys attack Fancy Pants because she's black?
I didn't attack Fancy Pants.
Yeah, you did.
I've never attacked her.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't attack Fancy
Again,
Pants.
Red, not talking to you.
Didn't attack Fancy
I'm
Pants.
talking to Brian. I came here to talk to Brian, not Red.
Fantastic.
Don't be treating my guests like shit, Isaac. You say
Yeah,
that about me.
okay, I'll leave. I wanted to talk to you, Brian. I wanted to talk to you, Brian, not Red. Goodbye.
Yep, bye-bye.
Have fun crying about me.
I don't cry about you. Have a good day.
Why, what a fucking child, eh? Where'd you go? What? Here comes Sokka. What's going on, Sokka?
Hi.
What's up?
Wait, what is this background?
What is this background?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you can read it, right?
Why do you have the background of this says Isaac, not a great person? Prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Wait, why are you having a live that says Isaac, not a great person? Why?
If you don't know, then you're not fucking paying attention then.
I wasn't paying attention because I was just in Isaac's live for the past like 2 hours, on and off all day actually.
Yeah.
And he was interviewing Puma, and there was nothing about you. And he was having YouTube, and you're having a live now.
Yep.
I wouldn't even have known you're having a live if he didn't come over here and was talking about it in his live. And it says Isaac, not a great person.
Yes, awesome.
As your background.
Okay, let me talk.
Okay.
I got off work today. I turned my TikTok on. Isaac and Happy sitting there talking shit about me.
I saw them live today. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, 100% they were talking about me.
Did they have a background?
Well, guys, he's legit hosted a live.
My face on his background.
I'm not.
Live recordings of me.
I just didn't know it was today.
So don't give me that. Why is my live like this?
I understand. I just didn't know it was today.
Why is my live like this?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll let you talk. I'm sorry.
Why is my live like this, Sokka?
I don't like
I'm
it.
requesting to come up.
Okay, because you're Isaac's friend, right?
Of course I'm Isaac's friend.
Exactly. Yeah,
Hey Brian, why are you leaving out the part that you hosted an entire hate live about me on your lunch break?
yes, I did.
Yeah, so why are you talking about me and Happy being live talking about you when you started it? I just, hey, don't treat Sucker like she's stupid. Yeah, fuck you, Brian.
You do mind? You do mind? You do
This is stupid.
see all the time, Isaac. Yeah.
Come in here and talk to him, Isaac.
Isaac's been doing fucking hate lives on me, Zucka, for fucking 2 years now.
I know you guys have beef, but
Right?
I don't like any of the beef. And I wish
Sucka, I haven't
this
fucking
wasn't
talked about it
happening.
in months. Every time somebody came into my live and started talking about Isaac, I said, I don't want to hear about it.
Yeah.
Get out of my live.
I don't know the background of Isaac, not a great person.
For fucking every fucking time my name's being brought up in his live. Every time.
So I understand there's animosity and that you guys don't see eye to eye, don't get along, don't like each other, but I highly dislike this background.
Then dislike the shit he does himself.
I don't like.
No, you're playing.
I will always express whether
You're being
I
biased.
say something like the way I came on here and say.
You're being biased.
I'll say the same to other people if I don't like what they're doing because I have been cyberbullied, so I can understand it, and I know that you feel the same way as I do.
Be
And I
biased.
get it, but I think
It's okay.
I
It's
don't
okay to be
care.
biased.
I don't think he likes it either. I think we all don't like it.
Hey
Right?
Brian,
It's okay to be biased.
Hey Brian, quick question. Why are you quickly dismissing it as being biased when you have my name up saying Isaac is not a great person, prove me wrong, as if you want to have a debate, but then you're using a fallacy to completely negate what she's saying. This is not a genuine debate platform, Brian. You are a terrible debate lord.
I don't have upset feelings.
I can still have a fucking conversation and still call Isaac, yes.
Yeah, it's called mental gymnastics, Brian.
Come together in honor of like hatred almost.
It's not hard. It's not hard to have a conversation and be biased. That's
snowball things. You could still dislike each other, but I don't know.
I think this is what you call a dick measuring contest, Sucka, and I think I win. I think I actually win. I think Brian has a smaller dick than me.
Oh my god.
You got me.
I don't want to be part of this. I expressed my feelings. Bragg, I don't like it. Can you please
Hey, my dick size went to my brain there, Isaac.
You guys maybe talk it out, and you can change the background while you talk it out. Maybe you can
Hey man, you wanted to have the dick measuring contest. I'm here.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this for months.
No.
3 years.
I encourage it. Do it, Brian.
Too fucking bad.
You'll be like my little
This doesn't even make
You
sense.
did it for fucking years.
years.
What?
He's so full of shit. It's so funny.
Why you did it for years?
Why?
Years, Brian.
For years. I don't. Why?
Him why he did it for years. I said
Years. Brian, I've been on this app for 2 years. I met you in December. So that doesn't add up.
It's been longer than that. Isaac.
No, I met you in December. December 17th, I believe.
No.
No, yeah, no, actually, I met you in December. I had no clue who you were.
Longer than that, Isaac.
You're so full of shit, Brian.
Change the background, and we could just.
So full of shit. Isaac, do you actually listen to the shit you say?
I think it's free advertisement, sucka. I think that he's a fucking lying snake son of a bitch, but that's my opinion.
I never really understood why you guys didn't get along. I only met Bri Guy through you, and then the Jimmy thing, and I was never even spoke to Jimmy before. I really don't get it. All I know is I don't like it, and it gives me PTSD of like something that happened to me online. And I just think that it shouldn't continue, maybe.
I didn't say it again, you fucking liar.
Oh, but it's because, Sucka, I'm actually the bully here. I'm the bully.
I was explaining the situation that why
anything else.
Outings. I didn't say that again, so that's a lie.
No, Brian, tell her about how I bullied you for years.
I'm not saying you bullied me.
No, you were just earlier. You did.
No. Isaac, don't put words in my mouth.
Actually, those are words directly out of your mouth. Tell her again about how I bullied you, Brian. Don't backpedal, you coward.
Friendly enemies and not host hate lives about each other.
Let me
retaliation and everything.
Because
honestly, listen, I'm not kidding you. This background is triggering to me.
Okay.
Can you turn it off?
All the fucking shit you two do on his live is triggering to me.
Not you two. I don't do it.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you do. 100%.
No.
Okay. You want to say what you want to say?
Brian.
That's my opinion, right?
Brian, what did I do to you, Brian? Tell her.
Tell me.
I already told you, Isaac. I don't.
What triggers you, Brian? Come on, it's group therapy. Let's go.
Tell me.
We got 34 viewers over here. Group therapy. Let's
I
go.
hate the background so much. I wish it would go away.
Yeah, well, it's not happening.
Please.
No, Isaac deserves everything he gets.
Isaac is not a great person.
It's not a great
That's not even said.
I'm not saying
maybe just change it to like right grammar or something. I don't think it's better.
No, it's said the way. You take it any way you want to take it.
Can you read it to me?
It's not saying he's a bad person. It's just saying he's not a great person.
So read it again.
It says Isaac's. I didn't get the S, but it says Isaac's not a great person. Prove me wrong.
Well, to be honest, Brian, this is the first time you spelled my name correctly, so bravo.
If you actually look at the
I think Isaac is a good person. I think, and I have examples of how he is a good person. He has integrity. He stands up for what he believes in.
Really?
He has purpose. He has
Let her talk, Brian.
dedication. He's self-motivated.
Let her talk,
He is
Brian.
always improving. He's learning every single day. He's he's entertaining. He's working toward a better future. He's really out there doing it. And I think that he just responds to certain situations in a way that I wouldn't. I'm not saying that I agree with certain things he does, and I've expressed that to him also. It's not that I'm like siding, but like he can continue to do it the same way that you can. Or like he can, you know, take my feelings into consideration, or like just
doesn't care about
saying it for, and I think that he does. But like, it's up to him, and the same for you. Like I'm not telling you, but what to do. It's your choice, obviously. But I'm not expressing you that I don't like it. That I think he is a great person, and your background is so I just expressed why I think he's a great person.
Well said, Sucker. He can't handle any pushback. I think that this background is bait to basically bring in the 7 people that I've covered over the last few months to cry about me. Prove me wrong, Brian.
Oh, you're right, Isaac. You're so right.
I think this is an ongoing, like,
Isaac. A lot more people that you have done wrong.
Actually, we did a poll earlier with 7 people.
Oh yeah, that's it. I had fucking 90+ people in here earlier, Isaac. Like,
not hating on Isaac, I hope.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, actually, only about 20%.
You have 90 people in here to hate on Isaac.
No, they were all fans.
Isaac, why he does it with me? Why does he have all those people?
Because he's upset with something that you've done.
Hey, Sucker, remember?
90 people to hate on him.
Sucker, remember how when you were originally talking to him? Remember how when you were originally talking to him, he was saying the reason he had the background up was because me and Happy were watching him host a hate live about me. He's a liar. He has no integrity. Yeah, okay, Brian. Don't let anybody else talk. Right.
All I do is lie.
Yeah, you're so good at this, Brian. Maybe just take the prove me wrong out of the background and we could...
Wrong, man.
Because we proved you wrong, Brian.
I proved you wrong over.
No, we proved you wrong, and you're just...
wouldn't even know anything about Bry Guy because I've been watching Isaac's lives for a while now, and the very first time I ever met Bry Guy was when he was in the comments of Isaac's live, harassing everyone to say, "Come to my live, come to my live." And that was the first experience that I ever had. And I went in her live, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" You were like something about like TikTok scientists, I think, was coming up, and like I told you, I didn't like what was going on then. And then I've seen several things since then, but back and forth, both of you not like just hating on each other. And this is
Let her
at this
talk,
point,
Brian.
like, I don't even know what to think. Because I've been watching Isaac all day long. And for the past weekend, and every time I was waiting for him to come back on, and I had no idea that you and him were beefing until he came on your live, and I saw this background, and I came over here. I had to find you to come over here. I found you because Isaac was live on as a guest, and he was arguing with someone else, and this is crazy.
You hear that, Brian? The only reason you have viewers is because of me, but bitch.
Yeah, see?
That's facts, bro. You had 6 viewers when I came in.
You see this behavior?
I do. Look at the background. I just proved you wrong.
Oh, facts.
I did. I told you a whole laundry list of reasons why he's a great person.
No. You didn't prove me wrong. You didn't prove me wrong.
I proved you right.
Most of the things that you feel makes him a great person.
You're right. You're right. So you don't think that anything I said was valid?
Depending on a few things, maybe, but no, I couldn't.
What are those few things, Brian? Elaborate.
Yeah.
What's what?
Elaborate on those few things.
What did you do to fucking Chris Barber? What did you do to Jimmy? What did you do to fucking Aminal? What did you do to LISABELLA? What have you done to fucking all the other people that you've went at, fucking Isaac? The same shit that he did to all those other people. But I'm not the one that's gonna fucking back down. I'm not the fucking coward of them all.
Oh, okay, Brian. So I'm not allowed to farm content?
You picked the wrong one.
So I'm not allowed to farm content?
You picked the wrong one, Isaac.
Go to Clapper, bitch.
You go to Clapper.
I'm on Clapper. Follow me.
You're such a child. Name calling. I mean, does that make you
Your
feel
background is Isaac, not a great person. Prove me wrong.
It's not name calling.
Yeah, but you got proved wrong, and you're sitting here gaslighting us.
Yes, I proved wrong.
Right. No, you guys are the ones that are gaslighting.
Anybody else want to go?
Oh, right. That's a cop out.
Anything else to prove? Because I said that I think that maybe Bry Guy might be jealous of Isaac.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna line on that. Why the fuck would I be jealous of Isaac?
Brian, can you answer us one question? Why are you jealous of me, Brian?
Succeeding and you don't like it.
Brian,
He disagrees with people.
one sec, Sucker. Let's ask
I
him.
don't know.
Let's ask him.
You guys were battling.
Brian,
No
why are
idea.
you so jealous of Isaac?
Him this afternoon with 90 people that you just told me about. I didn't even know that happened. That's very upsetting.
Good.
Yeah, but he also, remember earlier he was trying to blame me because I was reviewing it with Happy? It's kind of crazy, eh?
70% of them
You're
are his
having a
followers.
campaign against him. Why?
70% of them are his followers. So let's go. Let's say I did a hate live. He had way more fucking people in that live than I had in that live.
So you want his viewers?
Let's say hate live.
You want his viewers to hate him? Is that what you want?
No, not even fucking close. I want
So
him.
why don't you just move on if you don't want to support
I
him?
want him to do better.
So if you don't
Well,
want
the reason, Sucker, the reason this all started was he came into my
why
live
don't you just let it go and just stop hating on him?
because he's jealous. Why are you so jealous, Brian?
Wait, I think he just wants your viewers. Wait, I think he was going to tell us.
Dude, you have nothing for me to be jealous of, bud.
You want his viewers to come over to you and hate him?
Exactly. He's desperate.
No, bullshit.
That's what it feels like to me.
Well, then you're fucking delusional.
I don't know. You're having a live right now that says
No,
Isaac
you're
not
delusional.
wrong.
You're delusional.
That sounds like gaslighting, Brian.
You're
Look at your
delusional.
background. You said you had a hate live about Isaac that had 90 people
You're
calling hate today.
You're delusional.
I'm delusional?
Yeah, they were all my fans, though. They were just enjoying
Why
the
were
show.
you doing that? What did Isaac do to you?
If you have to ask that question, you are fucking delusional.
Well, did you guys ever shake hands and make up?
We have. But yeah, he wants to continue.
Do that again and let
wants to
everybody
continue.
else fight their own battles?
Isaac has done so much to a lot of people.
Hey, Brian.
People,
Hey, Brian, how about you...
to him.
How about you
It's not your
TikTok battle me,
responsibility
bro?
to hate Isaac for what he's done to other people.
Yeah, bitch. You're
You know
scared.
what I mean?
You know you would lose, Brian.
You don't have to keep hating each other. Like, you can hate each other in, like, a friendly hatred.
Yup. And I don't hate Brian.
Yeah.
I give credit where
We just
credit is
dislike each
due
other,
with
like,
Brian.
without
Sometimes he does
having
good
hate
work.
lives.
Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes he does good work. And I give credit where credit is due.
He does. He gives shout outs.
Brian, you've done some good shit. I will admit, the live like 3 weeks ago, where you had Lindsay and all them up, and you were just sitting there and you were like, I don't know what's going on. That was good content, man. So there, I give credit where credit is due. Like, I'm not always just sitting on my live hating on you.
You're always talking shit about me, Isaac. Give it a break, man.
Can we just, like, not cross
Sometimes
lines? Like, do you know
I actually talk very
funny it is?
fondly of you, Brian.
Yeah.
No.
Like, having a 90% live is kind of like, okay, like, maybe it's a lot.
So Isaac can have 100.
And then carrying it on? No.
Brian, you interjected yourself into
But
that.
he doesn't hate on
You had
like
nothing to do with that live, Brian.
say,
You came into
Brian,
it
I'm
leaving
a great
comments.
person. Prove me wrong.
Isaac,
Well, he'll do-
Don't fucking lie to everybody, Brian. Everybody knows The reason why you came into that live.
There is a line.
Whatever, Sokka. You're literally
You
delusional.
can have a friendly
Yeah, you're
nature
literally
towards each other,
delusional,
where you
sucker.
grow like, there's crazy people on the internet, and doing lives like this is really pressing boundaries, in my opinion. And I just came up here to say that, and I wanted to say that Isaac is a great person, and I wish the best of luck to Isaac. I wish him lots of success in his life, and I fully support him. And I would like to fully support you too, but shit like this is not good content, and I can't support it.
Well, then don't support Isaac then. Don't
Hey, sucker, we should dip.
I do hate lies about him.
Hey, sucker, you want to hit? You want to fucking dip?
Amount of awareness about shit that happened with Puma and Pride. He's an advocate for communities. He has guests on his live. He doesn't give a shit about this shit. He'll do retaliation. He doesn't want to, I'm sure. I can't speak for him. But I just know that this is not his main source of content, and I feel like it might be yours. And it should just not, we should just shake hands, hate each other in our own corners. I can stop being so annoying.
Dab it up, Brian.
They keep saying how annoying I am.
Dab it up, Brian.
What do you think?
Deflection is real. It's okay.
Dab it up, Brian. Dab it up, Brian.
Turn the back, please.
Dab it up, Brian.
Not happening.
Why?
Not happening.
Oh, because I'm a terrible person, right, Brian? Can you tell me how I'm a terrible person?
You are, Isaac.
No. It's not.
Can you tell me why I'm not a great person, Brian?
Yeah.
I think if I have to tell you you're delusional.
That's a cop out.
How about
Give
this,
me an
Brian?
actual
What is the
reason why I'm not a
purpose
great
of this
person.
live?
Let's go.
Look at the way you've treated so many people, Isaac.
Look at the way they treated me, Brian.
Yeah, because you acted upon it first for them to treat you like
You
that.
acted upon this first, so no, that's wrong. The only reason that this is happening, Brian.
I probably did, but I'm not afraid to admit it.
No, Brian, you acted upon this first. Oh, okay. Aminal, you said Aminal earlier. He acted upon it first. Who else?
No, you went
Who
after
else?
Admiral because he disagreed with something that you said.
No,
so,
I have
yeah.
all the fucking footage, Brian. Don't try to fucking gaslight me again.
I'm not gaslighting.
Why am I not a great person? Answer the question and don't say I'm delusional if I don't know. Answer the question.
Speaking facts is gaslighting. Cool.
Why am I not a great person, Brian?
Could you request and come up here and prove, Brian Guy, why Isaac is a great person? And
Or
not
other
a
way
great
around. I'm
person?
down for both. Like, we get
Can
some
we
fucking
have
haters
a,
up here and I'll
you
dip
know,
out.
Can we please prove Brian Guy wrong? Because he doesn't agree with me.
You ain't gonna be able to prove me wrong. That's why I put it up there, because I know you're not gonna be able to prove me wrong.
Yeah, well, you just look like a fucking douchebag right now, Brian, but that's fine.
Cool, Isaac. Yeah. Let's go to
Yeah,
name.
I don't-
Child, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, Brian has to prove he is right first. Yeah, can you prove why Isaac is not a great person?
I already have.
No, you haven't. All you said was she's delusional if she doesn't
Yeah.
know.
The way he treats people.
And elaborate. How do I treat people, Brian?
I think you don't let anybody have say. If they disagree.
I'm listening to you right now.
No, yeah,
I disagree with Isaac all the time. Isaac we never have a problem.
You don't like to hear people tell you you're wrong.
That's not true.
I actually love that.
I tell Isaac he's wrong all the time. We giggle and laugh and we have a good time.
Bullshit.
Continue.
I will find you replays.
Anybody that has said anything wrong to Isaac or bad about Isaac in his live, he automatically mutes. He blocks. He does all this shit so people don't have to see the truth.
Brian, you're not even on the block list. I have 2 people on the block list, and I muted you because you accused me of being responsible for some other person's crimes that I had no involvement with. And there's a lot more to that, but I don't want to dig it deep into that. But that's why I'm mad at you, And that's why you got muted. But anyways, continue. Yeah, suck my dick, Brian.
Listen, let's not go there. See, this is why we shouldn't have lives like this. This is so dumb. Why are we even having a live like this, though? Like, what is your purpose? What is the purpose of this live?
Because I can.
But why?
Oh,
So everyone hates
so
Isaac,
I'm not.
or like,
You can
why?
do this, Brian, but I'm not allowed to do what I do? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Now you're getting it, Isaac.
Yeah, I never
I
told
don't
you
get it.
you
He
can't do
explained it to me,
this.
I don't understand.
Your audience told you this is fucking pathetic.
You do it, but I'm not allowed doing it. This is
I don't
my.
No, you're totally allowed to do this. It's just it's not a good look.
This is my ethical reacts to Isaac's behavior, like he does to everybody.
Keep it up.
else.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
Ooh.
He never has a background that says somebody's not a good person. Prove me wrong.
Talks in his fucking live about how they're not good people.
Okay.
So, well then, what?
Maybe you're just a shitty ass person, Brian.
What? I got
Brian, maybe you're just a shitty person and I observed it. Like,
and I'm observing your shitty person.
So what is the purpose again? I forget.
but you don't have any evidence to prove your point, but you have a debate lord fucking background with my name.
Questioning what he's doing. You're just seeing from the outside because you're not friends. He doesn't answer or report to you what your opinions are that he's not a great person. Doesn't mean that that's factual. Those are your opinions. And by having a live that is negative
That was so bad.
towards Isaac is not okay. If you ask me, but that's my opinion.
That's a blooper right there. I don't know what the fuck just happened.
I'm sorry. I feel upset.
Goals are something that you fucking work to achieve. And
What's your goals, Brian?
He has a lot of
My
goals.
goals, I've already achieved
Hey,
them all, Isaac.
fuck you.
What is your goal of this live? To make people
What the
turn
fuck?
against Isaac and hate him?
I've achieved all my goals.
I'm like getting shit for that now.
It's very recently talking about you. Even that one you were talking about with Happy earlier.
You're
I
good.
didn't
You're
even know
good.
that was about you. And I was there in and out for like at least like
Why?
half an hour. I was in and out of that live and I didn't know what was going on. So it wasn't
Did you
like
see
a
that, Brian? I
like
gave her
to make
shit. Are
people
you
hate
happy
you.
now?
I guess they were just upset about whatever was going on. I still don't know because it was all cryptic. So it wasn't like a live that was like hate you, you know, like the way that's happening right now, or the one that you had around noon or whatever. Somebody was you were saying, right? With 90 people. When was that today? You said around lunchtime?
It was
What's
before
that?
the Happy and me reviewing it when we were talking
Oh my
about him that
gosh,
he
that
was
is
trying
so
to.
sickening. You think that that's okay? Why do you have a lot of hating on anyone?
Because he does the same thing about me. So.
Okay, well,
No, I
can
don't.
we just agree to disagree and shake hands and hate each other without making lives about it, and then it can just not snowball.
You can do whatever you want, sucker.
Can you do that? Why do you want this to keep going? Like, what is the end goal? What would you like to see happen from this?
It's to steal my viewers, I think. I think he's jealous. Remember, Sucka, he's just jealous.
To steal your viewers and make them hate you. So I guess we'll have to go on a campaign of why Isaac is awesome. And how there's somebody out there trying to have a smear campaign, or maybe we won't even mention you. Because if Isaac didn't mention you tonight, there would be 3 people in this live. Nobody even caring, right?
Yeah, it was 90 people, but only 7 of them gave a shit enough to vote in the poll against me. So, you know, it's actually only 7 people watching and 4 of them were on the panel. So, Brian, 3 people in the audience felt victimized by me. 3. That means that 80 people were perfectly fine with the content I make, and you're the only one that has a problem with it. But you also sit here and victimize yourself so that you can fucking do these weird little lives crying about me. It's weird, bro.
Isaac does.
Why does it matter what I do then, fucking sucker?
Because this says Isaac not a great person. Prove me wrong. That's why.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
It doesn't fucking matter.
What are you talking about?
You can't fucking say why does it matter what Isaac does and then fucking come at me.
Oh my gosh. this is really sad to see. Do you really not
Yeah, I
comprehend
think
what I'm
he's
saying to you?
jealous. I think he's just jealous, to be honest. Not to like glaze myself, but I genuinely think he's jealous.
I think so too.
Why would you guys are fucking delusional.
Well, we wouldn't even know that your live was happening if it
I
wasn't
think
for Isaac telling us.
exactly. He had 7 people in here.
What of Isaac for?
Brian, we're gonna do a delusional count, and I think we're at like 40. I think we're at 40 right now.
All right, so maybe if we just
of Isaac, somebody that
block
don't have
you, then you'll disappear.
someone that doesn't have fucking family, someone that fucking
Who
has
doesn't
to
have
take
family? Who are we talking about?
life, somebody
How
that's a
dare
fucking
you? Why does that have anything to do with you? That's none of your business. Ew, that's disgusting. What does that have to do with you? So you want him to what? Do you want him to feel really bad about himself? So would you like it if Isaac feels so bad about himself, and cries himself to sleep? Would that make you happy? What would make you happy? If everyone hated Isaac and canceled him, if he disappeared, what would make you happy? I want to know.
Me doing what I'm doing right now makes me happy.
This makes you happy?
You don't seem happy, Brian. You seem stressed out.
Not even close, bud.
Okay, so why are you crying about what I did to you if you can handle it? I thought you had big shoulders. Like, what is your actual problem? Like, are you okay, Brian?
There's 23 people that are here supporting it. They're watching it.
I think they're just watching it. Look, William Cooper said this is so sad. See, I don't think they're watching in support of you. I think they're watching in support of like what's gonna happen, and they really don't know what's going on because me and Isaac are here like, what the fuck are you doing?
Watching it and seeing and saying that you guys.
Jolyn doesn't like Isaac. Well, Jolyn, why don't you come in here and tell us why Isaac is not a great person so that we can know? Ryan has a wife, but he is sitting on his phone talking about Isaac.
That's okay.
Buffalo Bill says it's karma. This lady just wants to hear herself talking. No, I just don't understand why this is content.
That's all she does.
Is it just me that hears crickets in the background? I don't.
I want whoever comes in here to know that this is crazy.
She never comprehends anything because she don't know how to shut the fuck up and listen.
Because this is meant.
Brian, you don't let her talk.
You don't shut up.
Oh, good. Somebody's coming in.
Yeah, this should be interesting.
Right, guy.
Spotted.
So the past 3 days,
Uh-oh.
yeah, I know my full name is out there. You got someone who's in the comments or in your guest thing. They'll probably dip real quick using my real name. I can assure you that I looked into the account, and I am going to put that blame fully on Aminal. Just be prepared, everybody. You want to fucking go there, Aminal? Get ready. Thanks, bye. Oh, by the way, Brad,
Do you want to? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and
say nice things about people. How about you try and say
love you, love you, Spotted.
Try and say something nice about Isaac, and Isaac say something nice about Bry Guy.
Listen, Bry Guy, I don't support this live, and anyone who supports this live, please block me. I want nothing to do with you. And I don't like this, okay? Bry Guy, please think about what you're doing.
Take your bias somewhere else.
I'm sorry. I don't want to argue with you, but I don't like this.
Bye.
This is gonna be good.
It doesn't really bother me about that, but it's like they've been doing it for 3 days, like blasting my full name. And I know it's on Isaac's YouTube channel and like when I comment on there. But the fact remains they're doing it for malicious purposes. And anything that relates to
You did see the two that were just in here, right? Turtle?
yeah.
You don't think they're doing it for malicious behavior?
Good Lord. That was... That shit was fucking... Do you have crickets in your house? Okay. It's so fucking hot. I can't... I can't wait for winter. Nah, we can move on. That was, yeah, that was weird. I'm like, I was just checking in, and then it was like, oh, Brian, you got 7 viewers. What happened to your 90 viewers that you were so proud of? It was 347. Yeah. So, right now, I'm sitting at 2.1K, so, yeah. That was fun. He really, like, would not take no for an answer. That was debate Lord Brian. His comments are AIDS. Some dude is in the comments going, oh, have you seen Isaac abuse his dog? Like, no, you haven't, because I don't abuse my dog. Like, the fuck? Holy fuck. That was like, every time I looked at the comments, it was just fucking Common Sense Carl spamming the chat. It's like, wow, this is really good content here. I'm Fuck, my headphones just died. One sec, I got backup. I can't hear you right now, but I got backup. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the way that this started was, one sec, I got a delay. So the way that this started was I was sitting here minding my own fucking business. I was just having a live talking about issues that were relevant to the world today. And Brian comes in my chat and he says, don't leave a comment or he'll block and report you. So I muted him. He comes in on 7 different accounts going, oh my God, you're triggered. You're triggered. Last account. Like, I knew it was the last account because I knew how many accounts he had. He's sitting there going, oh, you're triggered. So I just let him talk. And I let him talk for like 20 minutes. And then I muted him again because he was attacking somebody in my chat for making fun of his spelling disability. And I'm like, Brian, you have a fucking, like, you're fishing for things to be mad about. And I'm just going to get rid of you because it's not something that I'm like cool with. Like, you're legit just fishing for fucking reasons to be upset. He literally tells people that no, like if they back me up, he fucking attacks them. Like it's
and he came in your live, disrupt your live, change the topic in the comments, look at me, start attacking people in your comments and shit, disrupted the live. You mute him because he's fucking annoying everyone. And that's an issue. How dare you?
Yeah, but then he also hosts his own live where he brings up somebody that like was like, Isaac is such an asshole. I'm gonna video game myself. So I fucking messaged her and I'm like, yo, it's not like that. Nothing personal. Like, I don't know you. If you're feeling like that, I'll back off. She takes that as an opportunity to go in there and fucking shit talk me. I'm like, I thought we had a ceasefire. Like, what the fuck? It's weird.
It didn't even make sense in English.
Jimmy's gone. Jimmy's gone. He's not gonna. He was trying to accuse me of fucking like not being respectful to women because Red was like, well, actually, I think you know, sometimes I'm like, Red, shut up. I'm talking to Brian. Like, she's not gonna come in here.
Great person. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, that shit was weird. Earlier, it said, we need to love Isaac. He needs love. And then it was just a fucking hate live. I'm like, to steal my viewers, literally.
So not to be friends.
No, just, he's done it so many times. He fucking plays victim. He steals all my viewers. And then he fucking cries about me for like 3 days. I'm all for it. Like, I think that that's why we have Bry Guy Sundays, is because he steals my viewers. And it's like, okay, Brian, steal my viewers. Let's see how this goes. We know how it goes. It's weird, bro. I don't know. It's obsessive. Legit. He has
Other people that he hates with. So there's nothing to jump on that right now. There's nothing with the other people going on. So it's time to hate Isaac.
I'll send you some videos on Telegram. They're wild. Like, he went off on me the other night. That's why I was muting him, was because I was like, fuck you, Brian. Fucking psycho.
I don't understand what he's doing.
He's trying to steal my viewers. That's legit. The only reason he's doing it is just to steal my viewers, because he's seen I had 100 viewers, so he was like, I need those.
And now we just gave him so much attention and exposure.
Which is fine by me. But I want that because it's like, it's content. Like, the guy fucking knows how to make good content. He's good at being a fucking Nazi. I'll give him that. I gotta take a break. It's been like 6.5 hours.
When you hit your goal, I'm like, come on, let's hit the goal. That Bry Guy thing.
Fucking mayhem. I thought I was gonna leave too, but that was too good to walk away from. It's all on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. I got it. So, yeah. 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 I got a headache from that. Well, thank you. Yeah. It's weird. It's really fucking weird. Like, I wanted to, like, not engage with him, and here we are. So, peace out. Thank you, Saka. That was fucking amazing. I'm fucking live on YouTube still, guys. What's up? Holy fuck. Thank you, sucker. Jesus Christ. Living my life. Doing my thing. Just get a message. You're still live on YouTube, FYI. So, it's been a week and a half, guys. I'm